Animals already here. How you doing? Good to see you. And looks like Viper just put up a CR1M within the last 2 months, because when it says 1 month it could be 2. Anyway, that just popped up. He's got some nice B-roll footage rolling through right there. 2017 CR1M menu H. Let's see. I just had a sticker of his I was going to use to suggest people check his channel out. Trucker just put a MRE review, or no, a Long Range Patrol review up 8 hours ago, roughly. Go check out Trucker's channel. CT. Should be a link. Looks like that. Yep. Whoop. Yep. Man, I've been dropping a lot of stuff lately. Oh. So it's been a little bit of a weird past week. A lot of you guys probably know my dog passed away last week. And peace and much love to you in chat. Hope you're having a lovely day. Well, thank you very much for that kind message. I'm actually able to pay attention to chat a little bit right now. Let me turn the camera around for the time being. Won't stay this way for too long. I've got some packages to open up, some stuff I picked up. One, I'm not sure what it is. Even though I bought it, I'm not 100% sure. It could be one thing or the other. Another box I need to open up, and then there's a box that it's mine, but it was in my luggage, and it's been in there for probably at least a year, maybe longer. And anyway, we'll get to that. And right now, I need to make a real quick post, as per usual. My beard's a little bit wonky because, oh yeah, live chat. Thank you, Miss Renee. Live chat. I miss a lot of messages because of that, because Tracy Phillips wasn't showing up, CT wasn't showing up, Bourbon Street wasn't showing up, none of that. Oh, hey, Johnny Scoville is here. You had to show up, didn't you? So somebody sent me this, what, maybe a couple years ago? And it's been sitting back there. And, you know, I eat old stuff, and this is nothing different for me. I think the packaging should have preserved it quite well. If you guys don't know who Johnny Scoville is, it's the fellow that put his name on this right here. Who made this, by the way? Oh, yeah, Blazing Foods. Okay. So, this is the original, I believe. Is it not? This is the original. And I thought, well, if he shows up in chat tonight by chance, I might eat that. So, so that's a collector's item by now. I think you're on, what, 3 or 4? Something like 3 or 4. I looked it up, and I'm not 100% sure which it was on. But, yeah. So, I had this out, and I was like, James Ortiz actually sent this to me a long time ago. And I had pancreatitis, and then I also had COVID twice. And it screwed up my mouth, like my ability to taste, and then I didn't respond well to heat there for a while. So, thank you, Johnny. I'll tell the story of what's been going on over the past week. You guys can think I'm crazy. That's okay, because I'm thinking the same thing. So, here we go. Over the past week, it happened last Saturday at like 4:50 in the morning when he passed. So, that day, you know, that was live stream day, and I decided I wanted to go ahead and do the live stream because I just thought it'd be good for me. I was being a little bit stingy, I guess, or focused on myself. Anyway, starting the next day, maybe even that night, I started hearing him, which when you're used to hearing something like that so often, I feel like it's not that out of the ordinary for you to continue to hear that. It's kind of a mind trick, right? So I thought, yeah, okay. So I would hear him walking in my kitchen, because there's laminate floors in there, fake hardwood looking crap. And his little claws would clack on there, and I would hear him walking in the kitchen. Every time he walked in there, you know, I'd deal with him because he was blind. He was mainly, I would say he was probably 80% deaf. He could hear my voice because my voice does carry really well, but he couldn't really hear anybody else in the house. So again, the sound thing, I can kind of wrap my head around me hearing him. But there's been a solid 3 times that I have seen him, plain as day, but not looked right at him. I saw him out of the corner of my eye, walking. And, I don't have an explanation for that. And it was, to me, it was very, very real in the moment. I feel a little weird talking about it because I know how crazy it sounds. Whether or not it's real or not, I don't know. But, the experience was real, obviously. But whether that was my mind making me see that or something, which I know is fully possible, that's kind of where I'm at with that. And it was the last time I seen him was Wednesday. I saw him in my bedroom, and I saw him walk all the way in through my door to the place where he would walk in and turn around where he couldn't really see. So that kind of, I don't like that thought. So it's got to just be it's got to just be me seeing him. It's in my head. It's got to be. But I would almost consider it to be like a job, because I've had many jobs where I stayed up long hours, and whenever I would go to sleep at night, my dreams would line right up with where my day ended, if that makes sense, and it would kind of just continue to play out. So whenever I was sleeping, it was like I was still working, and I would see these things, and sometimes I'd wake up and I'd think that I was still doing that stuff. So I put it in a situation kind of like that, and I spent a lot of time, especially here over the past, definitely over the past few months. I was really with him all the time, and then I also, since now it's been about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, his health declined really quickly, and I think he had missed his meds, and he was getting some food that he shouldn't have got. So I started taking over his care full time, and not switching off with my old lady. She'd give him his meds sometimes, I'd give him his meds sometimes. So we wanted to make it to where there was no chance that his meds would get skipped. So I started the full-time regimen of his feeding, making sure that he got water, making sure, every time I heard him, I would take him out, because he wasn't really incontinent, but where he couldn't see and he couldn't really hear, he didn't really know if somebody was going to come and get him, if he thought he needed to go out, and he really wasn't barking. Anyway, making a long story long. So, but if he may, I don't know if he's still here. My house is a little weird. There has been things happen here, and I have seen and heard things here over the years. It started literally before I even moved in here, because I did a lot of work on this house before I moved in, and I seen things before I moved in here. It hasn't been a lot, but it's been enough that you can't ignore it, if that makes enough sense to you guys. I don't know if I ever even told you guys about this, but there was a suicide in my house. It's probably been, let's see, I've been here 14 years. It's probably been 20 2-ish years ago. So, yeah, there's that. And then also my neighbor, which I was really close with him. So there's, this is stuff has happened here. I don't that doesn't mean that has any tie to what I've seen and dealt with, but just saying it happened, and now this is happening. And then after my buddy passed, I told you guys what happened with that, which I don't want to make a huge deal out of that. I feel like privacy for their family and things like that is a thing. Although I also feel like this is my story, and this is part of what I had to deal with, or what I would, because I never really got to close out that chapter with him, especially. I could tell you guys about this because obviously it's public knowledge. Not that a whole lot of people know, but there was no funeral, there was no viewing, there was no anything, nothing, literally nothing. And I'm not going to go into detail about that because there were some things that, I don't know how I'll put this, that I wasn't too happy about. Doesn't matter what I want, not the family. Yeah. It's just, I think he would have considered me his best friend. But anyways, definitely something happened with him after that, after he passed, which was back in October. And I can't remember exactly when that happened, but I haven't had a whole lot of anything that I would say was him. Like, me and him talked about the afterlife and things like that, and kind of discussed giving each other signs of whoever kicked the bucket first. And maybe that's what he was doing. I don't know. It can be interesting. Today I walked into the house. That was a Civil War hospital once. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, no, I can't do it. It's on here. Man, I wanted to show you guys that clip that History Savior told me that I could show people. Nope, I don't think I can do it. Okay, there is a super chat. LC says, your house may be an open portal to the spirit world. As far as Sebastian is concerned, he's found his home, and he's here to stay. Well, I have hopes that he had, like, if there's a place for animals to go, Elandil actually, he told me this this like really good kind of story, and I'll have to go back in and read it, but the Rainbow Bridge is what it was, and it's just this side of heaven. The Rainbow Bridge connects the two, and whenever you pass on and you get up there, they're supposedly up there waiting on you. That's basically what Elandil told me. I'd never heard that before, but because I've only ever had one other dog that passed away. She was my dog. She's right there on my shelf right now. Her name was Daisy. She was a full-blooded boxer. I had her for, I know, a solid 7 years, probably going on 8. She was roughly in between 15 and 16 years old, same age as Sebastian when she passed. I didn't have anything like that happen, really, after her that I can remember, other than I did hear her a lot, because she was a loud dog. She was a big dog. She weighed probably 110 pounds or so whenever she passed. Oh, Rainbow Bridge connects U.S. to Canada at Niagara Falls. I did not know that, which I've never been up there. Let me share this real quick. It'll just take me a second. Create a post. Whoops. Add a photo thingy. Whatever. Paste a link. Live now. Chat. So I do have these boxes. We'll get to those right now as soon as I hit post. And and we got it worked out to where tomorrow I'm taking Cash, the kitten, to my sister. I don't know if I'm going to take him all the way to her house or she's going to meet me somewhere, which I told her I'd bring him all the way. not a problem. So, yeah, that's going to happen tomorrow. Looking forward to that, kind of. It's going to be weird not having him because he has made very close friends with the two other, his sister, the little tiger striped one, and Goose, Lucy. I call her Lucy, but my son called her Goose, so I called her Lucy, Lucy Goosey. And anyway, so kind of a weird way to come up with the name, but that's just how it happened. All right, flippy flip. And I think I might have a package from Bourbon Street Joe sitting at the post office, but they're making me sign for it for some reason. I don't understand what their deal with that is, but that's what's happening. All right, tilt the camera down here real quick. Let me grab this stuff from over here. We'll start with this little one. Wait, did I? Yeah. All right. I marked out my address and whatnot. Let's just get into it because, like I said, not 100% sure if this is a one thing or the other. Because I did get something that weighs 2 pounds, which, what's this weigh? Does it even say? 1 pound 8 ounces. So this definitely cannot be it. This has to be the other thing. Man, peanuts. Styrofoam, packing peanuts. Which, I mean, honestly, they do a great job. These packing peanuts, especially on stuff that you don't want. Yeah, well, I give up. Just let it. Chips fall as they may there. Lots of packing peanuts everywhere. But yeah, I'm thankful for the peanuts, actually. Alright. This is that can that I was telling you. Whoa. That was not like that. Well, that sucks. Dang it. I don't know if I can pop that out of there or not, but holy cow, did it get caved in. Well, that sucks. Anyway, this is a military radio balloon. I have not read everything on the can, but I'm going to put it around here where you guys can check that out, pause it, read it if you'd like. If balloon is stiff from the cold, it must be thawed out before use. This can be done in either 2 ways. Hold the balloon in water and unfold it gently. As the outer layers thaw, will require 1 or 2 minutes. Or put the balloon under your arm between inner and outer clothing. After the outer layers have thawed, unfold them carefully and put the balloon back under your arm. Repeat the process until all parts of the balloon are flexible. This will require 15 to 30 minutes. In either case above, handle the balloon very carefully and do not apply force to any part which is stiff. Balloon tears easily. Keep it away from buttons, insignia, and other projections. Inflate according to the instructions on the bag or on the tag attached to the hydrogen generator. Be sure to wet the tip of inflating tube before inserting into the balloon valve. So this should be everything you need to make this happen, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the hydrogen generator's in here too. You got to put it in water. Balloon M278A for AN-CRT N4. It is from 1967, March of 1967, actually. Made by Grace, Dewey, and Almy Chemical Division. I don't know. I just thought this was pretty cool. It's a key open can. And it is a radio balloon. It puts off a radio signal, I think, is how this works. For, I guess, like if you're in a situation where you're lost and need to be found. Or maybe it is to boost a radio signal. I'm not 100% sure. I need to look into that and see exactly what the deal with that is. But that sure does suck. And I'm going to have to fix this label right here where it's coming off. I don't remember seeing it like that either. Because it's definitely decided it's going to start letting loose. But yeah, I don't know. That's got a crease in it right here. Really bad. I mean, I could probably pop it out of there, but I'm afraid I'd make it worse. Because if I shove it in and then it ends up popping in over here and this comes out, then it's going to crease it again. I'm glad to look at my pictures again because I'm 98% sure that that did not have that dent, because that would have concerned me. And I was not concerned because the can was not dented like that. So anyway, thought that was pretty cool. Never seen one of those before, and I snapped it up. I think I paid roughly about 35 bucks shipped for that. I think I paid like 25 and 10 shipping, something rough. I think I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure. All right, now I have this box, which honestly is something that I wasn't sure that I would see for a very long time. And fortunately, oh, I missed a super chat. Click on that. LC said, just wanted to drop a note stating the part of your mystery box that got the whole thing started arrived today. And I can tell you that it is amazing. It's in amazing shape, and we are stoked. Can't wait to send it off. You guys are going way above and beyond, especially, thank you for the super chat also, LC. You and the kids are doing something special, and it definitely touches my innards, my emotional side that I try not to show too awful much because I'm a man. You know what I mean? But look, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this, honestly. This is really a team thing, and if we can work, like when someone sends something in like that, you know, it's fun for them, it's fun for me, and I super appreciate everything that you guys do, because you guys do honestly way more than I deserve. I don't deserve anything. I enjoy doing it, and you know, Johnny, when he was on his live stream the other day that I happened to catch. Thank you again for that super chat, by the way, LC. But when I was on Johnny's live stream the other day, he said something that resonated with me. That honestly, I guess his words work for me as well. Before I even open this box, let me say this. So he said, if he ever goes to do, because he's Pepperhead. He taught stuff, and he's really good at it. I'm pretty sure there's a link to his channel in my description. I put it in there like years ago, and it has never changed. I just left it. So he said if he ever goes to do whatever he's doing, filming or whatever, and it becomes work, that'll be the day that he comes on, makes a video, basically bows out, and he's done. And I feel the same way. If this is ever something other than enjoyable, and if it ever becomes a job to me, I probably won't do it. I might try to put. I'm the kind of person, like, I don't want to let people down at the same time, but I don't think it would be good for me or you guys. Does that make sense? Because if I'm not happy doing it, you guys aren't going to be happy with what I'm doing and watching, and the interactions won't be the same. So I don't ever want to disappoint in that aspect. So I definitely agree with what he said, and I feel like we're kind of in the same boat when it comes to that aspect of being a YouTuber. I know I've done this a couple times, but it's appropriate for that. I want to get to that point to where my kids think that I'm a legitimate YouTuber, but other than that, like, being called a YouTuber is kind of weird. It's weird. He made some good points the other day too that I'll bring up later whenever we're chatting, because he made some really good points. We had a really great conversation. Got to go back and forth there, and maybe I can get forced out of me, because if he hangs around, I might do the his Death Nut challenge there. Anyway, so Saltycroccollectibles. I do believe I got a link to him in my description as well. His eBay store. He might have stuff up right now. He might not, but definitely keep an eye on his store, because he sells some awesome stuff. He really does, and he's just part of the community. I mean, he's just one of us. It's not like I'm promoting a store or something like that. He's just one of us. So he sent me this link about a week ago, maybe a little over. Anyways, this showed up the other day. I have not checked it out yet, but I saw pictures on eBay. Look at this. This is what I basically could not find anywhere. And it just so happened this woman got on eBay and was listing a bunch of older, not old, but just kind of a little bit older Mountain House stuff. And she had this lot of nothing but chicken breast and mashed potatoes. There's legit 2 big old chicken breasts in here, and then obviously your mashed potatoes. But you can't. So what you can get now is that diced up chicken and the potatoes are different. The chicken is different. The whole thing is different. And they said, we're bringing it back for this limited run. They didn't bring anything back. They brought something else back. Like they brought a new menu that's similar, but it's made with diced chicken, and the mashed potatoes are different. So, but this one right here is a 2013 production. So this thing is what, 9 years old? So April, yes. So this thing is a solid 9 years old. Maybe even, would that make it 10? No, it'd be 9. It'd be 9 years old. Let's see, what's it say here? Now, the newer one that I have, which I'm not even sure where it's at. Maybe I got it right here. It seems to me like there's different... Nope, there's not. I thought there was a split nutritional facts, but this is the last era of the chicken and mashed potatoes with the actual 2 chicken breasts in there. This might be a 223rd day of 2018 on this one, because I've probably had this one for probably 3 or 4 years, believe it or not. I am a food hoarder. Anyways, there's 12 of those in here. They're stacked very, very neatly into this box, I've noticed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. It appears that there are exactly 12 in here. So I can eat one of these on a live stream with you guys. Trust me, I would love to do that, but I have a feeling that you might be a little bored with that, which, I mean, I could throw other old MRE components with it, can, this, that, the other, whatever you guys think. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't do that to you guys unless you guys were up for something like that and just kind of chatting at the same time. I got another box to look through because I don't know what this box is. And I also have another box over here that is, like, it's a big deal. This other box over here has something that I paid over $800 for, and it showed up to the post office. Basically, I'm not going to call it mangled. I'm going to call it rough, very roughly handled. It's got dents. It's got rips. It's a little frustrating because I did specifically leave instructions for the box to be marked as fragile. I had 2 requests. Okay, put the large box inside of another box with packing around it so it couldn't slide around, and to mark the outer box, because I wanted to preserve this very vintage box, but to also mark it as fragile. Well, it didn't get marked as fragile. So therefore, you know, they might have handled it the same with the fragile or not. But it was just another preventative step that I wish had been taken. Especially since I requested that step to be taken. I have not gotten to open that box yet, the outer box even, to look at what's going on inside. But even if I do, there's not a whole lot that I can see on the inside, unless a bunch of cans have busted and they've leaked out. So I haven't decided if that's something I want to share on a live stream or not, because that is 100% video worthy if it's not completely mangled. And I really pray that it is not. Yeah, they forgot to mark it. That's what happened. We'll give them the. I don't know what to say to. It's hard. I don't want to be mean, but I did specifically ask them to do it, and they ignored that. I had, like I said, 2 very simple instructions, and when you pay $800 for something, you want it to make it to you the same way it looked when you bought it, in the pictures. You don't want it to look different, be damaged. So, oh, hey, whoa, hey, look, the super chat says, support for the content. Thanks for what you do. Brad's Journey, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. I really, really do appreciate that. You guys are too kind. LC, I think, double super chatted tonight. And it sounds like she got something cool in the mail that she's going to mail to me. So it's getting double mailed back to back. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss another super chat up there. Thank you guys, really. Thank you guys. You're too kind. Literally. Brad, I don't know that I've ever noticed your name in the chat, but I try to acknowledge when there's somebody new up in here. So Brad looks like he was new, and there was another, oops, I don't know, what did I do? There was another new name that I noticed. Am I still in live chat? Okay, maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. Where? Oh, I don't know if I've seen Mike Brown either. Maybe last week I saw Mike. But let's get out through here. I was kicking myself in the rear end the other day when I was on Johnny Scoville's live stream, because I could have easily shared that on my channel and got some of you guys to come over there and hang out in his chat and kind of talk. But for some reason, I was just, oh yeah, never mind. Never mind. I remember why I didn't. Let's see. I wanted to acknowledge another new name, and she spoke very early, and now I can't find her in the chat. So anyway, there was somebody else new here as well. Oops. But I have lost her name. All right, phone. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Come on. Come on. Okay. There we go. So I don't really know what's in here. Like I said, this box was in my luggage, and it's been in there for at least a year. I don't remember what was in here. Okay. RC, I think this is either from a food packet of salt or a limited. They use these limited in RCIs from 52. Looks like, let's see, May of 52. Looks like a 5. Yeah, it's a 5. I can see it way better with the camera than I can with my own eyeballs. This, I know what this is. This is a chocolate nut roll that Shocker sent me that he says is fully edible. Chocolate nut roll that I just stuck to the tape. It's looking like cans are the only thing in here. Well, that looks like a possible. So, you hear that? That's a good sign that the jam's probably busted in here. It's from 1957, March 57. We got one other can up in here. Oh, that's a B3 as well. That might be good. I don't know. No, probably not. Yeah, that's probably not good. That's out of an MCI, though. November of 67. Huh. All right. Now I know what was in that box. And there's also some Tabascos in here. Oh, yeah. Huh. That's cool. That's Matt. They got married just a little over a year ago. So these were in here. Cool beans. I need to put those up somewhere else. Not in this box. Like a photo booth thing? But not really? I don't know. I don't go to fancy weddings ever. First one ever. Had a good time, though. I'd do it again. That's when I got to meet Adam, too. Yeah, that other box. Got to get to that sometime soon. I don't know if that's something I should do on a stream, though. All right. Well, this is what we got going on up here. Let me get this out of the way real quick. Yeesh. Good enough. Something about standing right here where I'm at that makes my nose clog almost every time I come in here. I don't know what the deal is with that, but all right. So we have two spaghettis up here. This one's from Sinpack, and I can't remember if it's got a date code on it or not. Let's look. Sometimes they're just barely stamped to where you can just literally barely see them. Huh, that's weird. It's got something, looks like a 99 or something right there. That's 4 squares. You guys see that? That's weird. Huh. All right, let's check this side. Yep, look here. There's a 2. It looks like it says 3178. So that could very possibly be a 1993. The other spaghetti is also a Sinpack, but I do believe it's a different year. It is. Okay, this one I'm unclear on. This is either an 8. It has to be an 89, right? 89? I mean, 99, it wouldn't, be a tan bag. Has to be. Unless... Is it possible? That could be a 6. Well, that has to be a 2, though. It's just almost impossible to tell. Yeah, this side doesn't help at all. I guess this is a 1989, the 291st day, it looks like. So we have an 89 and a 93. So a 4-year difference right here. They do feel a lot different as far as, like, just judging by the way they feel. I would say they're not a lot different, but they are definitely different. Did I miss a super chat? Oh, no, I did not. It's Brad again. I just clicked on it. Thanks again for that, Brad, with the $20 super chat. This is a menu number 1, which is pork with rice and barbecue sauce. I'll tell you the reason that I got this out. I've actually never eaten one of these that was still good. I don't know why these go bad, but every single one that I've ever tried to eat the meat was rancid. It made my mouth go numb. Every single time. I've probably tried I've tried at least 5, but I'm being conservative. I'd say I've probably tried more than 5 of this menu, various years, but same menu. This one has a box on either side, so that's going to tell me that it's probably in the 90s. Or it's an 89. James says pork doesn't last. Well, the only one that I know that pork-wise that I've been able to eat, which this is an obvious reason, but it was the freeze-dried pork patty from 80 to 85. So that 6-year span. Or was that 80? Did they run through 86 and 87? I don't think so. The freeze-dried pork patty. And then you had the freeze-dried beef patty as well. So I guess this is an 89. Which I guess they would have started running the double boxes in probably 87 or so. I don't think maybe not 87. Maybe 88 and 89 would have been the first 2 years. So 88, they might have started the double box, on either side. Like the Canadian IMPs. This one is a 89 as well. 291, 291, and I believe this one said 291 as well. So all those come from the same case. But I don't know what the conditions are of these. So we have one spaghetti from 93, one from 89. This is a menu number 3, which is chicken stew. And I'm a big fan of the chicken stew, even though it looks kind of like vomit. It does not look good whatsoever. I don't know the contents other than the mains. I did not look them up. Memory-wise, I've got the spaghetti kind of memorized. I think 94, though, they went and started putting the oatmeal cookie bar in the spaghetti, which kind of makes it a sought-after menu. I think it was 94. Maybe I'm wrong. I know corned beef hash still had it. So that's what we got, guys. We got these 4 menus, which I could always grab something else. And then I'll tell you what. I don't know if that's supposed to look like that or not. I don't think it is. It doesn't look nowhere near as bad on camera as it does in person. These down here, like the coating, I'm pretty sure saved these fellas down here. Which that looks like that's about 3 nuts just coated together. And then the bottom ones, which are the worst ones, they look like they have maybe, I think they're okay. They all look like they're pretty decent. These look okay. But see how this is like really, really pasty looking? Like almost powdery? I wonder if that nut didn't go rancid and cause the other 2 to go bad as well. I don't know. I think it's possible. What year did he make these? Does it say on here? Surely there's a date on here, right? I've been thinking about trying to hit Johnny up too and see if we couldn't work something, make an Oldsmokey hot sauce. I think that'd be awesome. I'd be down with that. Have to taste real good, old and good. I don't see a date. Maybe there's one on the actual sleeve here. No, nothing on that side. Nothing on this side either. So I don't know, actually, when these were made. If I was to guess, I would say it was probably around 17. LC says, I vote for the pig with rice and barbecue sauce. I'll tell you what, I don't care to open 2 of these. If it comes down to it, if the pork with rice and barbecue sauce, we're pretty sure it won't be good. Like, I might open another one or something. Or maybe we could do both the spaghettis one time and then we'll use the chicken stew as a backup. But I would love to indulge in a good pork with rice and barbecue sauce. I'd love for that to happen. So let's give it a try. Let's go for it. If it's edible, I will be one happy fella. Oh, what happened, spicy tuna rolls? Which one did you vote for? Oh, thank you for the super chat, LC, by the way. Did get a lot of vote for the pork. Ate a spack of Skittles. A spack of Kittles. That's what I was going to say. Ate a spack of Skittles. Ate a spack of Kittles. Anyway, yeah. I think I'm a little dyslexic sometimes, too. I do put numbers backwards a lot. Spicy Tuna Roll said, Sebastian super chat. Oh, did I get 2 from LC? Nope, hang on. The chat took off on me. Okay. Chicken and noodles MRE I had last night. Had a pack of those allegedly not for human consumption Skittles. Oh, yeah. Was that the neon ones back in the day? Oh, or do you mean that had the dye in them that's no longer available for human consumption? I think it's red. I know it's, let's see, red. Is it red 5? Because I know yellow 5 give you kidney stones. So, am I opening the right one? This is the pork, right? I hope it is. Didn't even look. This is made by Sinpack, right? Yep, Sinpack out of Cincinnati. Which obviously is Warnick. Right? Sinpack became Warnick. Uh-oh. That's not good. What is that? Okay, this is new. Let me smell it. Okay, it doesn't smell bad. I can't tell what that is. Kind of looks like bugs. What is that? All right, I got to dig one out here. I don't know what that is. It does look like bugs. Kinda. Looks like weevils. You think it's cooked? I don't think there's any cookies in here. Anyways, let's just figure it out. Okay. That, I don't know. Pork with rice and barbecue sauce. Obviously. Blah, blah, blah. 268th day. Okay, 291 was the bag date. We got some good looking crackers here. 236th day with a D after, standing for day. No. We have, ooh, that feels good. Cocoa beverage powder. Feels absolutely perfect. Crackers. What else we got here? Uh-oh. That's not good. Well, I don't know. It's like, it's definitely really, really chunky and solidified at the top right here. Is this what's leaking? Something's leaking in here. 237 on that, but I don't know. It feels like it's delaminating. It's a bad sign if so. It doesn't really look like it is, though. It looks perfect. Maybe it's just the cocoa beverage powder, or the grape beverage base that I'm hearing. Yeah, it's got some real solid chunks in there, though. All right. We have, okay, this is definitely a problem. That is a busted apple jelly. Huh. Well, where's the hole? Okay. Maybe that's not it. A nice looking little spoon there. Still nice and clean. That's a good sign. This seems like it's okay, actually. I mean, the packaging is perfect on it. This is the culprit. Look at that. So they got a little hot at some point, which honestly, that's not that concerning. This thing could have got hot a day or two, but ooh, those smell nice and rancid. I know that smell. I know that taste. I can already taste these. Absolutely. Yep. I know exactly what those are going to taste like. It's probably not going to be good, but we'll try them. And we have us a nice looking little accessory packet B. It says coffee instant, cream substitute, sugar, salt, chewing gum, matches, toilet tissue, hot sauce, hand cleaner. Why is this a B? What's different? Huh. B. This is the same contents as accessory packet A. Is it not? It is, unless some had hot sauce and some didn't. But, whoa. Look at that. That is cool. Oh, man. I don't even want to open that. Huh. It's got a 5 printed here. And then someone literally took a magic marker and wrote the 5 on the back. I feel like that's highly unusual to find something like that. I've got other accessory packets. Let me go grab another accessory packet. I'll be right back. I think this is a MCI accessory packet, and this thing has seen better days. Yeah, matches, chewing gum. Yeah, this is definitely an MCI accessory packet. Huh. Where are my accessory packets? I know I got some handy. Just got to think. Where would they be? Got a lot of crap. Let's think. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to open it. What's this? Nice. It's already open. Not Zapple sauce yet. Uh-oh. Well. Huh. So maybe this is where that stuff was coming from. I don't even know what that is. It's not bugs. That's a good thing. It's been a long time since I've had one of these, and some of you guys might not know, but I freaking love vintage applesauce. Really old applesauce like this. Goes through a fermentation, usually. Not always, but this thing's definitely seen a little bit of heat, and I think that's got to be somewhat of what kicks off that fermentation process. Now, it's not like taking a shot of alcohol or even a beer. Like, it's not like that. It just has like a, almost like a sour, fermented, I'm not going to call it yeasty because that's not it. It's, I don't know. It's just very strange. I'm not sure that's going to be that way, but I'm just judging by the looks of everything here. It's very possible. All right, let me go heat up the pork with rice. It feels really heavy. This pork with rice and barbecue sauce. Ooh. Huh. This is an 89. I mean, this thing is pretty old. How old is that? It's older than my little sister. Be 33, 34, something like that. Depending on how you, yeah, 33 probably. All right, be right. This is the only thing I got to do, right? Yeah. Got to do that accessory packet too. Okay. We'll do the accessory packet. I'll just try to remember to keep this. Oh, what is that? That isn't good. What is that? Huh. It doesn't really have much of a smell. It smells like the old caramels a little bit, but if this was from the caramels, I feel like it would reek. Huh. Weird. Alright. So, I should probably wipe that off before I... Let me go grab a paper towel real quick. Okay. Just because it'll contaminate everything else. Huh. Odd. So here soon I want to start like trying to... I don't know exactly when I'm going to be able to do it, but my plan is to start trying to travel a little bit and make viewer-related content where I like go visit like people in the community and other ration reviewers, not just ration, but folks in the community also. All right, let's take a look at this odd little duck. See if the stuff inside is held up. I don't want to leave that in that boiling water for very long because if I do, it will be heavily metallic. So there's our cream substitute. Feels perfect, actually. Here's our really light colored matches that are black with red tip, strike on back, made by good old D.D. Bean and Sons, of course. Yep, my fingers are still nice and slippery. A little bit of evaporation going on with that Tabasco. Not a whole lot. 227. Here is our brown Taster's Choice that might actually be good. 6 grams of Domino sugar. That's what I like to see. I don't like those 4-gram packs. Here's our little refreshing towelette. Not the one I expected to see, actually. Some green Chiclets gum that actually looks really good. And here's our iodized salt. National Packaging Company, not Diamond. Interesting. There's our little Tufco. Napkins, butt ration, toilet paper, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go pull that out of that boiling water because I really don't want it to get the towel. So I'm going to set it over here. Let's scooch everything out of the way over here. Get a tray. This is the tray that I don't usually use, although both my trays that I have of my own came off the USS Cascade. My neighbor's grandpa brought them home off the ship whenever he was working on breaking the ship down for scrap. They were scrapping the ship out and breaking it down. That or they sank it. One way or another, he was clearing everything out of it. And his rucksack, or no, he had like one of those stuff bags, and it was just full of stuff like that, kind of, that he'd salvaged, in my opinion. Because if not, I'd say that stuff would have either ended up at the bottom of the ocean or it would have been melted down. So, coffee cup. Good old foreignmre.com here. There's our jelly, which I do believe is fine. There's our grape. So we got 3 drinks, which is a little overkill if you ask me. Because there's not much to this meal when you get it all out here and look at it. Let's see if this cocoa beverage powder is any good. That's kind of what I thought. Terranos wasn't going to work. Oh, yep, I got it. Give the powder a try. Ooh, that's more powder than I want to eat. Alright, give that a try. Still more powder than I wanted to eat. So far, so good. It actually tastes really good. Oh, wow. Nice and creamy. No off flavor to it whatsoever. It's really tasty, actually. Huh. Alright, so that's a good sign. If an MRE has seen too much heat and it happens to have a cocoa beverage powder in it, as this one does, the cocoa beverage powder can be a good indication on other items because it's going to react with hot and cold, hot, cold, hot, cold in a negative way. The cocoa beverage powder is good, and that is a great sign because if this thing had seen too much heat, the cocoa beverage powder would be no good. I've encountered that more times than I can count. we go. I'm actually just going to set that back here for now. I'll stir it up in a minute. Now I need another smaller coffee cup. Where's my Melmac cup at? I don't know where my Melmac coffee cup is. Huh. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Underneath here. Oh. I have not used this cup in so long. It's been a long, long time. Hopefully this coffee is good even, because it might not be. Find out. Perfect. Wow, that's another good sign. 2 in a row. Looking good for this meal, man. I'd really like to be able to eat this pork with rice and barbecue sauce. And it's so far so good. Oh, yeah. Throw our... Somebody's trying to sell one of these on eBay for like 12 or 13 bucks. I'm like, okay. It might have been for more than one pack, but still. Buddy. If anybody buys that sugar on there, hit me up. I got all kinds I can sell you for half that price, for a quarter of that, for a tenth of that price, for less than that even probably. I'll make it good for you. I don't even know how much extra leftover stuff like that I have. Everybody refers back to Alf whenever I say the Melmac, because that's what they refer to this. That's what they call this. It's kind of in my mind too, because I was a huge Alf fan growing up. When I was real little, I was really into Alf. He was like my favorite. Always wanting to eat the cat. Lucky. Lucky was the cat's name. I can't believe I haven't named one of my cats Lucky. Oh boy. Next cat name is Lucky. Wow. I can't believe I haven't thought of that till just now. All right, let's see. Yeah, I just saw CT in there. You guys go over there, subscribe to CT's channel, watch his weekly uploads that he does. Is this thing leaking? I just saw powder or smoke or something. I'm trying to work it down there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. There we go. Just got to break that air seal, but see what I mean? Like, it's definitely chunky. Something happened with this. It's not right. I'd say it probably tastes okay. Gonna find out. Doesn't look right, does it? It does not look right. In person, it looks even worse. It just tastes like candy. Maybe it does have a little bit of strangeness to it. Nothing alarmingly off about it though. That artificial grape flavor, sourness is there. It seems like one color, like the darker stuff, will have the sugar in it, or vice versa. The lighter stuff will be the sugar, and the darker stuff will be the sour and flavor. Whoa! I just about dumped scalding hot water into that, and I don't think it needs hot water. Hopefully. Yeah, I got a Canadian ration reviewer. Oh, come on. Kitten. You can't be doing that, man. You want to come say hello to everybody? You want to come up here and say hello? Come here. Come here. Here, we got to flip the camera around for this. Say hello. Say hi. Oh. Yes. She's got a cute little face on her. Yes, she does. She got a cute little face. You know, a little tail. Say hello. Aww. You got a pretty face, kitty. You got a pretty face. I gotta clean your mess up that you just made, though. Okay. Hey, what's up, Bo? Bo Blaine. In the house. In his house. What was next? What was I thinking? Something I needed to do. I've totally lost track of what I was doing. What was I doing? Anyway. Bring this cup down. Bring this cup down. Bring this cup down. I ain't got a freaking clue what I was doing. I'm really disappointed in myself right now. Because I had something. I don't know. I hate that. Because I surely had something in my head that I was going to do, or I had planned, or whatever. Alright, let's check out the applesauce. I predict it to look like cinnamon applesauce, even though it's most certainly not. Oh, whoa. Didn't expect it to be solid like that. I've never actually encountered it like that before. Not the vintage stuff. Well, not the new stuff either, really. It's definitely dark. Looks like I said, cinnamon applesauce, but it's got a solid element to it. Which I don't know if I'm going to be a fan of that or not. Let me get its box over here. That's all nasty. Whoops. Oh, dropped something again. For like the 5th time this live stream. Alright. Spoon. I want to mix up. I've got to keep this accessory packet, not throw it away. Keep the 5 facing out. So maybe I'll remember to not throw it away. Kitty, honey, you can't get up here right now. Alright, coffee first. Which is pretty much good to go. Oh, this is not. What is it, kitty? You don't need up here. Not right now. Wait till after I eat. Alright, that's good. Grape. No, do not try to jump up here. Alright, let's get the crackers up. Oh, I remember what I was going to do. Yep. Time to unplug the microphone. That is what it is. Honey, look, you can't hang out up here right now. I'll hold you for a minute. But that's it. Okay. All right. Oh, I got the main already. It's right here beside me. I went and got it a long time ago. But, yeah, if I'd have left it in this long, it would have been ruined for sure. All right, let's see if we get a hiss. Should, because these are very well sealed. Ah, there it is. I was like, is it going to ever do it? Did I miss it? What happened? Old crackers. These are 89, so they're not going to have the salt, but this is a pretty good year for the crackers. So they're like really shiny. In person, they're really shiny. They've definitely got a shiny. That's from the packaging though, I guess, because look at the one underneath it. No shininess. This one on the other hand, oh yeah, nice and shiny. Like a brand. Ooh. Well, I think the cat's okay, but right underneath my feet, man. I've told it 100 times it can't do that, but it just doesn't listen. I don't think it can understand me. This needs clean. My hands are sticky also from something. I've got that paper towel in here, I think, don't I? What do I do with that? There it is. Use a little bit of this bottled water so I don't have to take it in there to clean it. I guess I could have used the moist towelette. I don't know why I didn't. I just wasn't thinking like that. This all you had and you was out in the field or something, but I don't know how many people, if it's an apocalyptic situation, say, would be willing, I mean, they'd have to be hungry to eat old food like this. I wonder how long it would take for people to get desperate enough to start venturing into vintage foods. Like, if that ever happens, I got a leg up on some folks. Not everybody, but quite a few people. I must say that something I'm somewhat used to. All right. Time for the main, which looks absolutely horrible for some reason. Definitely delaminated. All right. Well, I mean, that don't look too bad. I'll get a smell. Oh, it actually smells good. This smells really good. It smells like barbecue sauce. I can't really smell the pork in it so much, but I know it's in there. Kind of looks like marinara sauce. There's a lot of pork left in this packaging that just is not wanting to come out. So with this pork, I've noticed every time I've tried to eat this, the pork gets very dark, which this is because of the barbecue sauce, I'm going to assume. But it gets really tough. Now, I don't know if it was tough to begin with back in the day, which I think is a possibility, or if it's something that happens over time, which could also be a thing. But I don't know what would make it get hard like that, especially sitting in a moist environment the way it does. So I want to start off with this, obviously. I always typically start off with the main. So you can see the fibers of the meat right there. It's not like a chunked and reformed, really. It looks like the original meat fibers are there. My mouth is watering, so that's a good sign. That's not to say this will be good, but I probably shouldn't go that deep to start with. Yeah, I got to be cautious. I'm going to start with this bite right here, but my mouth is definitely watering. Certainly, I am hungry, and down the hatch. Well, I'm shocked. So far, so good. It has a slight, and I do mean slight, creaminess to it. The pork itself seems fine. It's a little fatty, so my mouth is coated with a little bit of fat, it seems like. I don't think it's an effect of it being rancid. And if it's rancid, it tastes awful good for it to be rancid. This thing seems to be in pretty good shape. Huh. Well, here's a larger chunk of pork. Let's see if we can get that opened up and kind of get a look inside it. It's alarming how dark this meat is. It really is, especially pork. Like, it shouldn't look like that. Now, as far as the rice goes, I don't know. Overall, though, the sauce, it's got a sweetness to it. The pork isn't really hard like it has been before when I've tried this menu. It's actually, I would say, borderline tender. That big chunk of pork does have a slight metallic flavor to it. Nothing like alarming, but it's a little bit more than what I like. This has actually got some big old chunks of pork in it. That is a big old chunk of pork. A lot of pork in here. I would say it's probably 65 to 70% pork. There's a lot in here. But it seems to be pretty daggone good. That was a big bite. As far as the seasoning goes, it doesn't need any salt, pepper, anything along those lines. I will give it a little Tabasco, though. Whoa. Whoa. Give that a try. I mean, that basically killed the flavor. It didn't taste a whole lot like Tabasco, and it didn't taste like it did before. Kind of made it almost neutral. I mean, just those flavors don't mix very well. That's what I'm going to say. Overall, though, it seems pretty good. This is by far the best one I've ever had. By far. I think it's cracker time. I love that. Why can't crackers still do this? Why is this not something that's still possible with, well, almost, but with MRE crackers today? I don't understand. You try to do that with a modern cracker, and it's first of all, it's going to crumble into a dust. And then what does break is going to be all like, not like what it should be. It'll end up a lot smaller, or a big chunk, you know. I wanted to try this on its own first. That ain't going to hurt nothing. Oh, lots of malted barley. Lots. I'd say that's the dominant flavor. The flour. Alright. Hold up. Okay, I just got a really weird feeling in my mouth from the cracker. Alright, I gotta eat. This can't be right. Duh. It's almost like as soon as I ate this, it made the pork have a weird reaction in my mouth, like a numbing and stinging sensation under my tongue. Surely not. Mixing it with the flour and the yeast that's in these crackers and stuff would cause a reaction like that so instantaneously. I don't know. I'm going with the dip, pork with rice and barbecue sauce dip on this cracker here. Yeah, for some reason those are not mixing well. I would have imagined that they would have went. I mean, I think back in the day they did go well together, but the age, something isn't jiving here. When I just ate that together, this tastes like metal now. Like bad. It's mainly all I can taste is just metallic. None of the flavors that I had before from eating it off the spoon, none of them are really still there. I'm going to try it off the spoon again. Now, see, that tastes fine. That's very strange, I must say. I've never encountered something like that. Not when they mix together, something weird like that happens. Yeah, those crackers might be a little off. That might be what's going on there. I'm not really. They don't seem to be off. I don't know when I eat them by themselves. It's. Let me do a little palate cleanse here. I'm still trying to get those 98 LRPs, CT. I saw you talking about the 98. I'm still trying to get that case from Eric. I hope I can get it. Yeah, I got a lot of numbness going on in my cheeks and stuff now. The grape tastes good. It tastes like grape Kool-Aid. Very artificial. The sweetness level on it is, I would call it probably like a 7. It's not like super sweet, but it's pretty sweet, you know. Yeah, maybe 7.5. It's pretty sweet. I don't like that numbness in my mouth, though. I'll tell you that. I mean, it's something I'm accustomed to, but it doesn't mean that I have to like it. Let's see what the apple jelly looks like. Oh, yeah. Looking good. Good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Looks good to me. Can't smell it. It smells like nothing. Yeah, it doesn't have a smell at all. What are you looking for the 2012 LRPs for? I gotta ask, because the 98s, in my opinion, are 10 times better than the 2012s. Now, 2012, there's one menu that has a freeze-dried ice cream sandwich, which I think is a great, like, novelty item to find in an MRE. I'm going to have to find one of those and keep it sealed for a display, because that's just not something you think you'll ever run across in a ration. So that's awesome. That applesauce is, or applesauce, that apple jelly is killer. Sweet, you know, the apple flavor's negligible. It's you know, barely there, if at all. Yeah, it's there. It's just very subtle. But that's very good. So now we have this. Let me look and see what Trucker said about the, if he answered. Oh, because they're fresher? That's the only reason? I mean, they're freeze-dried, so I wouldn't worry about that. Your side items, though, I mean, I guess just depends on how your 98s are, how they've held up. So let's find out if this applesauce is what I think it should be. Oh yeah, that's actually looking. If you guys knew what this was supposed to look like when it was, like, you know, fresh, obviously this is extremely oxidized just from the tiny bit of air it was exposed to before it was packaged, and I guess what tiny little bit of air might have been in that retort, because how else is it going to oxidize without oxygen, right? Virtually no smell. I mean, there's just a tiny, tiny hint of sour smell. So I'm not going to go deep on the first bite. I'm just going to kind of give it a taste. Kind of tastes like a sour apple. Yeah, I like that. This is a stomach ache waiting to happen. You know, like if you eat too many apples at one time, like eat 3 or 4 apples, whatever. I used to do that as a kid. You get this horrible stomach ache. That's exactly what will happen if I eat all of this. Maybe. It just has that really sour edge to it. Slight. Just a little bit of that fermented flavor I was talking about. It's a great dip, though. It's really lacking on the sweetness. Let me put a little bit of that in there. And try it that way. Yeah. that really balanced it out and boosted that sweetness up just a little bit. Like it just needed just a little bit. Mixes well with the crackers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Coffee. Yes, Matt. Is this Folgers or Maxwell House? Can't remember. It's Can't believe I can't remember that. That is a really, really light, subtle coffee. You know, sweet and creamy because I put both the sugar and the creamer in it. As far as the coffee itself, though, it doesn't have a... It's really light on the tannin, so there's not any of that, like, sour, bitter bite to it. It's extremely smooth. That is good. It's nice, very well-balanced cup of coffee for me. Some people like it a lot more in your face than what that is. Oh, so this might be a little bit difficult to get at this particular piece of candy. We'll see if I have the skill to make it happen. I don't know. It's going to be tough. Which, I mean, obviously they're not exactly what you would call good. Definitely got a lot of oil coming off of them. They don't look tasty, per se. I can't tell which way that wrapper needs to go. I guess it's just going to rip. Oh, man. Oh, aha. Oh, well, I'm in, but it's like disintegrating now that I've got it open. Oh, dude. That is unfortunate. What in the heck? Well, I'm going to have to go wash my hands after this, but... It sounds like I'm trying to lift a 200-pound weight. Like it's hard. I don't know why we do that. Oh, nope. I don't even know if I can eat this. Wow. That stinks so bad. I never dreamed it would smell so bad. Oh, it's got like a nacho cheese, like, twist at the end. It's got that really rancid, you know, smell, but, and then it has this, very cheesy scent to it as well. I guess would be the milk, because this is milk caramels, but, I like, this is definitely the worst one I've ever encountered. Ooh. It's so gnarly and cheesy. Super chats. Thank you for the super chats. I don't know who sent them, but let me go find out. I can't. I can't throw it all in my mouth. I will take a bite, but I will not throw the whole thing in my mouth. Horny Animal says, you need to stop getting Old Smoke. Your RAM is getting low. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about, like, things that I can do to prevent, because Alzheimer's is like a fear of mine. And I've been watching some stuff on the internet. It got me thinking about it. And, like, there are things that you can do to help prevent it. There's not any proven way that you can stop it from happening or anything like that. But they think there are ways that you can kind of help, like doing certain brain exercises, eating certain foods, not eating certain foods, like stuff packed with sugar like this is. But thank you for the super chat, Mr. Horny Animal. And I seen another one underneath that was Mulder. Hey, Mulder. Quite an adventure tonight. Thanks, Smokey. Well, thank you, Mulder, for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. So, I've never encountered a caramel that smelled like Dorito. You know how, like, after you eat nacho cheese Doritos, I don't know how many of you guys have ever eaten them. Probably most of you. Maybe not all, but most. What else would it? Anyways, that's where my head goes. And you got cheese fingers after, right? And then your fingers kind of, you have that body. You know, everybody has their own smell, right? Everybody. So it's that with like a. It smells so much like cheese that it's disturbing. And it doesn't smell in this. Nobody could tell you what this is if they were blindfolded. It doesn't resemble caramel smell at all. Not even a hint. Because I know what it is, and I've smelled this hundreds of times, at least 100 times, a lot. I could maybe guess it, but this is definitely a lot different, like, overall, from others that I've experienced. I've had these where they were edible, older than this. And it's surprising because everything else has been good, actually. The only thing I haven't tried is the hot chocolate, but... Oh, yeah. Okay. That... It tastes like cheese. It's burning my tongue. Yeah. Yep. It tastes exactly like it smells. Except it's like coming up through the back of my nose and burning my nose. It's still sweet, surprisingly. I thought it was going to be sour. It's burning my cheeks and burning my tongue and burning the roof of my mouth. I'm starting to pick up a little bit of caramel flavor. Like when I chew on it. I would not recommend someone eat that. Just putting that out there. My body doesn't want me to swallow it. Okay. Camera's going crazy. Alright, I gotta go wash my hands. I will be right back. All right. Okay. Hot chocolate. I need to get that burning sensation knocked down a little bit. Ooh. That might... I don't know if that's not good or if it's just... It could be from the caramel left in my mouth. Woo. Alright, I know the coffee's good, so let's... Coffee is like one of the best things I've found as far as a palate cleanser for things that have made my mouth go numb or burn my mouth, which I don't know how many of you guys have ever experienced something like that. It's unpleasant, but it can be pretty intense. Most of the time it's mild to medium, but I've had it to where it like really felt like almost like needles being shoved into my tongue and cheeks. Really weird. But coffee, for some reason, I don't know if there's something in there, the acid neutralizes whatever's going in, something with the enzymes. Something happens with coffee that doesn't happen with other things, where it just rinses it out, cleanses the palate really well. The coffee tastes fine. It does taste different, though. The caramel's definitely left a residual thickness, taste in my mouth. And I want this to be good. It's so bad. I love the vintage MRE cocoa beverage powders. They're just so good. You know, it tastes like the milk started to go, like, whatever. I'm sure it's not real milk, right? Milk powder. It does taste a little bit off. It's not perfect. Yeah, I probably shouldn't drink too much, if not any more of that. Wash your hands with Dr. Scholl's. Dr. Scholl's has a soap. Caramel residuals on my knife. Cat Williams. That Cat Williams joke's good. The silent... What is it? Silent K? Yeah, Silent K on the knife. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I think I've tackled everything food-wise. Of course, I've got the leftover... Oh, that Tabasco is actually fairly dark. Let's see. A little bit darker than this one right here. Not by much. This one is... looks like a 93. Or maybe it's newer. I don't know, actually. But this one, like I said, there's some evaporation went on there, but overall, good looking Tabasco. Probably considerably hotter. At least probably twice as hot as what normal Tabasco is. So if you guys like Tabasco, these little vintage old Tabascos are so good. They're so good. I mainly like it on my breakfast. Ugh, hot fries, home fries, and eggs. Yeah. I've got quite the collection going on up here of little Tabasco bottles, and this is not even close to all of them. This is just, I went through and cleared this out. It hadn't been that long ago. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, I have got to get some vintage smokes opened up. Like, that's something I really need to do. And if you guys really want to see me do this, instead of eating a meal and kind of, which it wouldn't be bad to do this after, but this meal's pretty sketchy, and I don't know what's going to be going on in my stomach. If I add this on top of it, it could be a disaster. Like, I could end up in the hospital, actually, because I've had pancreatitis twice. The spicy plus whatever might happen after eating this, which I almost kind of want to eat more of that pork with rice in barbecue sauce, because it's been good. The Oldsmokey needs Oldsmokey. Exactly, I do. Some old smokes. I haven't seen these in a long time. Got this old pack of Virginia rounds right here. These are 1942. Ooh, those smell weird. Really weird. You've lost a lot of tobacco too, with loose. Those ones need to be put in the humidor. That's for sure. The oldest pack that I have is actually right here. And this was back before I ever made any videos, thought about making any videos, anything like that. I actually opened them up to look at them. But they're London Life cigarettes. And this pack right here is from 1908. Sorry, 1909. And it was perfect. When I opened them up the first time, perfect. So I had always intended on making a video of the oldest cigarette ever smoked on YouTube. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever, right? I don't know how YouTube would react to a title like that now. And I don't think it would do well, which that doesn't matter to me. I will smoke one of these cigarettes. I've got to put these in the humidor. These are cool though. They got cork tips. So the way the tips are on them, they look like a filter, except there's no like real filter to it. It's just this piece of cork, just like you put in a wine bottle or whatever, and it has a hole through the center of it. So it's just like having a you guys ever seen those cigarette holders? Like, they're plastic. Some of them are real long. Like Zsa Zsa Gabor probably used to. I think she might have had one back in the day. It was like that long. She'd smoke a Virginia Slim that was that long. Virginia Slim was that long. Her cigarette holder was that long. Someone across the room could light her cigarette for her. But that's basically what it is. It's like I wouldn't call it a filter. I would call it like a cork cigarette holder. It's kind of what it's like. Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, I need to get a pack of vintage military smokes opened up. I need to decide what I'm going to do. I did see a can, if it ain't gone already, on eBay, an accessory packet can. And I'll tell you the reason why I didn't buy it. It's because I looked at that pack of smokes that was in it. There's a pack of Chesterfields in it. And that pack of Chesterfields, it didn't look the greatest. And I don't know how that could happen inside that can. It was like, the way it was, they looked wrong to me. It didn't look like, didn't look right to me. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I don't know. But for $275, they better be the right ones. And they are duty free. They did come from a military store. They're like around the right age. They may be the right age. It may be the ones that was in it. But for me, like, if I have a question on something like that and I'm not sure, I'm not going to risk that much money for a pack of cigarettes. Because the only other stuff in that can, there's a P38 in there that's probably worth you know, 12, 15 bucks, depending on who made it. Like GG Green in the wrapper, directly out of a can, pristine, perfect condition. 12, 15 bucks is you know, you should be able to. That's a good price for that, I think. And then, you know, you got 2 coffees. I think it's 2 coffees, some sugars, stuff like that. So you're not getting much else with it. Minnie, honey. I need to smoke now, but I don't know what. What did I do with the smokes from Dan? Did they fall? Okay. Ah, no. They did not. They are right here. Let's see how many I got left. 2, 4, 6. I got 8 left from Australia, from Dan. So I'm gonna go with another one of these from Saltycroccollectibles that he sent in 2 weeks ago, I believe it was. And these are lights, but they're not light anymore. It's just nothing like a cigarette that comes out of an accessory packet or an accessory can, because the gum, because the phosphorus from the matches, because even like the smell that comes off of the toilet paper, it all really gets infused into that cigarette, and you can taste it, not through the whole thing, but I would say through 60 to 70% of that non-filtered cigarette. Like, it's literally infused into the tobacco, but after it filters through itself so long, it kind of, towards the end, it just kind of, it still tastes like a nice vintage cigarette. It's just, you don't get that pick up on the mint from the gum usually through the whole thing, stuff like that. But yeah, MRE packaging flavored cigarettes. If I could recreate that, I mean, even though smoking's bad for you, and you know, whatever, but in a perfect world where it's not, if that was a taste that I could manufacture and package, I would be a billionaire. Like, it, as far as smokers get, like, everybody probably want to smoke that. I think it's a really pleasant and inviting and comforting. It's weird. It's pretty weird, actually. I admit it. If this was a regular, I would probably not like it. It would be too strong. Like, it would probably be almost twice as strong as a Pall Mall that I would smoke regularly now. Um, Something weird. I had a doctor's appointment in Columbus the other day, and on my way back, I noticed. Well, actually, on my way up, I saw that this gas station had. It was a Speedway. So the gas station had gas a lot cheaper than down here down here where I live. And I was like, okay, I got to stop that gas station on my way back down the road, because gas was $3.99 a gallon. Down here, it was, when I left, it was $4.65, and then I get 93, which puts it up at like $5.15, I think, somewhere in that area. So I turned around, because you couldn't. Anyways, I went to that gas station. And I saw the price of Pall Malls, and it was like $5.65. I was like, is that price right? Not only that, you buy 2 packs, you get $2 off. And I was like, so they're $4.65 a pack? It's like, so I had to do different transactions to get that price. But I was like, okay, that is ridiculous. This is the first time ever in my entire life and I've been going to Columbus since I was able to drive. It's a long drive from me from where I live. Used to be a 3-hour drive. Now it's like a hour and 50 minutes. They cut a lot of time off. They put new roads in, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, this is the first time in my entire life that not only gas was cheaper up there, but also cigarettes were substantially cheaper. Cheapest Pall Malls you can get around here now are like $6. After tax, they're $7 a pack. Before tax, they're like $6.70-ish, somewhere right along in there. And I was like, this is not right. This is when you know things are twisted. Things are not like they should be. You know what I mean? Super chat. LC says, what year were the cigs removed from rations? Okay, so from daily rations that were considered to be actual personal rations that they were given on a regular basis, meaning the MCI, because at the time that was the daily ration, was 1972. Now, I would love to be able to confirm exactly when, month-wise, because I don't know that they made it all the way through 72. It may have stopped sometime in between. May have made it to December. I don't know that for sure. But I have seen 73s that did not have cigarettes. And I've never seen a 72 with cigarettes that I can recall right off the top of my head. Maybe I have. All the literature says 1972. But if you look at the food packet survival abandoned ships, like the little, I had some of them around here. They were in brown packs in 76. Were they brown? Or silver? Might have been silver. Anyways, they're just little. They get 2 packs of Charms, or 2 packs of Charms, a pack of gum, maybe coffee. It's been a long time since I opened one of those. But that year, I've seen those years of 75 or 76. Those rations had 2 packs of smokes in it. So in the case, so that we're allocated 2 cigarettes per day, I believe, per man. So if a guy got a ration, he got 2 cigarettes, and that was supposed to last you all day. And I think it was the Charms in there. It was 400 calories, I believe. So, but thank you for the super chat and the question, LC. Awesome. And cigarettes have been around as far as being in rations, obviously, all the way through World War II. They put some in pre-World War II, that in cans that I know of. 1940 or 41, I know that there was a stint where they were in a B unit can. And then they were, so before then, tobacco, cut up, rolling tobacco, or pipe tobacco, however you wanted to smoke it, was handed out in bags, rationed. It was rationed, and you were given rolling papers, you were given your tobacco, you were given donuts, and you were given chocolate. So that was what you were given. Not necessarily all of that was to be rationed for yourself. That stuff was given to you to use for trading fodder. If you were in Paris or Germany or, you know, wherever you may have been, you would take that chocolate, like say you were out and about and you needed something to eat, right? And you didn't have no food. All you had was this Hershey's, this D-ration bar, or you had, you had a chunk of chocolate, and maybe you had some tobacco and some rolling papers. You'd already rolled it up into cigarettes, whatever. You would use that and say, hey, is there any way I could trade you X amount of cigarettes or X amount of this chocolate bar for a meal? It was meant to be used as trading fodder. Same with the donuts. But starting back definitely in World War I and pre-World War I, military-wise, same deal. They were given the tobacco, the rolling papers, and that's when cigarette smoking really started to become popular. Not that there weren't rolled cigarettes. There were pre-rolled cigarettes, but it wasn't super common. Most people rolled their own, and the advertising that started going on back here after World War I, but during World War I, the military got most men, like that's where the smoking habit came from, was the military. They brought it back here and it spread because their wife or their girlfriend or whoever, their significant other, or maybe even their mom or dad, might have thought, oh, hey, that looks like fun, or, and then after World War II or during World War II, Lucky Strike in general really started targeting the women here at home because they had to make, they were trying to make money and nobody was really buying cigarettes. So they started targeting women with their advertising. And you should go back and look at some of the ads that Lucky Strike put out that were focused, they were pinpointed towards women, because it can be kind of shocking if you don't know what to expect from a tobacco company back then. Like, they said some pretty outlandish things about smoking being can be good for you and give you energy to clean the house or to do the dishes, and they really went down that road, which back then it wasn't looked at as something wrong to say. Like, that's just the way it was. Women were definitely into the workplace, though, and that happened during World War I and after as well. So, because the war effort was mainly back home here, a lot of it was carried by the women working and building, the ammunition they needed, and the vehicles, a lot of that stuff. Not all. I mean, there were still men back here, but a lot of women were welcomed into the workforce. Why is my chat not staying up? Oh, the classic Virginia Slims. I got a pack of old Virginia Slims around here somewhere. It's been a while since I've seen those. It might be in a box right here beside me somewhere. I think I put them in a box of some stuff that Dub C sent a long time ago. I had some Camels in there too, I remember now. Had a pack of Camel Wides. It was open, and a couple had a soft pack of 89, 90 Camels. I got a lot of Camels. I would say Camels is probably one of the most common cigarettes to find in the vintage tobacco market, because Camel was smart, not only with the products that they gave away and their point system with the Camel Cash, but they turned it into a novelty and almost like a collectible. Like, it was something that they made it pretty to look at. Now, they did not change the Camel packaging, except one major change they made. I can't remember when they did that, but people were outraged. Like, Camel smokers were outraged. They hated their new design, which really wasn't. I've seen them, and I might have a pack. I'm pretty sure I do. But people hated it. Hated it so bad that, more or less, I don't know that they had the campaign. I think their outrage was enough that they switched it right back, and it has not changed throughout. I'd say we're probably coming up close to 100 years, 80, 90, 100 years, like maybe longer. It's pretty wild to think about how they haven't changed. Marlboro has changed in ways that subtle changes over the years to get to where we're at now, which is the classic. Now, Marlboro, I don't think has changed at all. Their boxes have not changed at all. I know since the 70s, 100%. They look exactly the same back then as they do right now. Like, if you don't know what you're looking for as far as how to tell that something's a vintage, because it's not like something that'll smack you in the face. Like, it doesn't have a zip code on it or something like that. You can't tell a difference between a vintage pack of Marlboros and a brand new pack of Marlboros, other than the barcode, like I said, the subtle things. But as far as the pack goes, like, they look identical. What's Joe Camel and Bin Laden have in common? They both will walk a mile for a camel. I don't know that I've heard that one. Well, the tax stamp was only specific through the 50s. And then in the 60s, you got this... hang on. I think I got one up here. Nope, that's not one. Shit. You got this, like, Indian head on, and it's on every quote-unquote tax stamp. Let me see. I think I got one in this box right here. Yep. Okay. See this? Let me flip the camera real quick. See this? Oh, it's upside down. It's just an Indian head. It says 20 on it. Class A cigarette. 20 Class A cigarettes. It's got the classic Indian head. But that is what would be on every brand, every pack. Every pack would have that. Whether it be Camel, Lucky Strike, Marlboro, whatever. Didn't matter. Would have that little guy right there on it. So, this is 60s. This could be 70s. In the 80s, they changed this top, and they started putting the state, like, individually, literally stamped tax stamps on the bottoms of each pack. And also carton would be stamped as well. But on this pack right here, we do not have a zip code. Okay? Right there at the bottom, you will see manufactured in Durham, North Carolina, and no zip code afterward. So this puts this pre-zip code, which was 76, I believe. So this has to be 60s up to 76, but it's pre zip code. Because after the zip code came out, it was mandatory that it was on every single address. So right there, it would have been right there at the bottom after the North Carolina, and it is not there. In this pack, is there any other indications? This is just something somebody threw in, like as an extra, kind of. It's something that I bought. Well, I mean, it was in there. It was in the listing of what I won, but you know, I don't know too many people that would want this pack. Really, it's not really anything special or honestly really worth even keeping. This would have been a green pack though. I don't have any green packs of Lucky Strikes. I don't own a pack of green Lucky Strikes. Wish I did. Let me read back here. I saw something about the Marlboro up here. Investory was saying something about it. Marlboro had miles you could turn in for gear. Yeah, my dad, look, I had trash bags of cut miles when they stopped doing it. Because I didn't know exactly when they were stopped doing it. I knew that they were coming up on stopping doing it. But is this an unopened accessory packet? I don't know. It's open. That reminds me of the waiting room in a hospital, like up on the upper floors. If you've ever had a family member who's been in a hospital room, like especially on the maternity floor, that's what that smells like. It's weird. It doesn't smell as good now because I opened it, but Marlboro pack, unchanged, like legit. Unchanged. Yep, pre-zip code. Which these have to be 1969, 70, 71, or 72. Because you didn't really see these packs of Marlboros before 68 so much. But 68, Winston's and Marlboros dominated accessory packets. Like, that was the main thing that you guys would see. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just these are filtered as well. Actually, I wanted to smell them. That's why I got them out of there. But these are filtered as well. And yeah, I wish I could bottle this smell too. Should be 2 left in there, I think. Yep, 2 smokes left in there. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't. I wouldn't pay as much for 68, 60. Well, I'd pay a little more for 69s because I've been trying to get a 69 now for 6 years, and I've not got my hands on a 1969 MCI. Why that's been so difficult, I don't know. The ones that I've seen come up recently have been $125 a piece. And I'm sorry, there is not an MCI from 1969 that is worth... What am I doing? I'm putting this in the wrong spot here. Anyway, there's not a 1969 MCI that's worth that kind of money. Pre-1962 or 1960, so basically 58, 59, or 60, 125 bucks for the double. You get the drink pack and then the accessory pack. That's basically very similar to this, but it's got the cigarettes, matches, it's got the chewing gum, toilet paper, and that would be, and maybe the salt. And then the other one has coffee, cream substitute, and sugar in it. Just the little side pack. I've had one of those on a live stream. I've never opened one. I've personally never opened one of the yellow ones. They're yellow as well, like really yellow. I don't know why they're yellow, but they are. But those ones are worth a lot more money for multiple reasons. They're way harder to get. They're very different, where they're 2-piece, and then in 50, it's either 60 or 61. They went to a yellow accessory pack that had the drinks in it, and then in 62 or 63, it had to be 1962 sometime during the year, because I have a case that I got many years ago of the I think they're April of 1963 case of MCIs. They're brown, but I've seen early 1962s that were yellow, so I'm getting into details that most people don't care about right now. Anyway, wow, used to own a gabeRILLA SAR around 2005. Huh, that's funny you mentioned that. I bought it. I got a couple new bang bang things. Got a nice Ruger. Just bought a Colt. But after I bought that Colt, I started looking online for a U.S. government issue Colt, and I found one, which I think I have screenshots of somewhere. You guys probably don't care to see it, but I think that's the one I'm going to go after, because the price on it wasn't too awful bad. It's used because it was a government issue. So I don't know. It looks really good. Like almost, it looks, to me it looks brand new. I mean, I'm sure maybe it's been shot a couple times, but it doesn't look like it's had any real use. Yeah, I'm a fan too. Just bought a 9mm SCCY, just a cheap little personal carry for her. Then I bought a Ruger. I don't know what the specifics are on that Ruger. I was thinking about that the other day, because it's not just, I don't think it's just a standard AR-15. I think there's more to it than that. And then I bought the Colt. And also picked up a shotgun. What do I do with the... Aha, here we go. Yeah, the shotgun's pretty tough looking. I like it. It's got a stainless barrel, and maybe the magazine's also stainless. Hang on, I'll pull it up real quick. It won't take me but a second, if I can figure out what I'm doing. Okay. I was actually supposed to pick it up today, but I went to a car show instead. And my car got either second or third place in the car show, which it was my class was from the year 2000 up, and I spent a lot of time and effort cleaning my car up yesterday, and then I was like, it's kind of stupid to take this thing. It's my daily driver. Why would I take it? And this morning I was like, you know what? I spent all that time cleaning it up. I was like, I'm going to take it. So I took it, and it actually did well. I got either first or second, got a trophy, and pretty happy about that. Okay. Can't even remember what brand that shotgun was. It was something cheap. Huh. Well, it was listed right here at the very beginning. Okay. Maybe it's gone. I was thinking about getting one of the ones I seen. Demolition Ranch. He had one. It kind of looks like a bullpup, but I'm not. It's not a bullpup because the magazine loads in, I think, from the top or from the back, instead of going up from the bottom. You know, like a standard magazine, it lays down like this and slides in at the top, or it slides in from the back. I can't remember which it is. I got a Kalashnikov 12 gauge. Huh. The magazine on that thing has to be 18 inches long. It kind of looks ridiculous. Anyway, this is the one I was talking about that I saw on Demolition. Yeah, Demolition Ranch. Yeah, I was going to show it to the other side like an idiot. Okay. Still ain't found the one that I just picked up. Well, I didn't pick it up, but I bought it. Huh. Maybe because I bought it, it's off the website now. Because he had to order it. And I thought he could get more, but I guess that might not be the case. It's kind of looking like that's not the case. Huh. I'll look for one more page and then I'm done. I think it was Arms Core was the brand. Yeah, it's not on here anymore. It's got a carry handle. It looks like an M16, but it's a shotgun. It's got that old style, like, body and frame with no rail or anything on the front. It's just looks like the old M16s. 5.7 AR upper. I'll tell you what, shocker. Yeah, he's my buddy whenever it comes to uppers and lowers. I mean, I understand that. LC, it's just kind of normal here. Like, where I live, you're an odd one out if you don't. Not that that's why I've just, it's kind of been look, I'm a collector. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, I collect cats. I collect old food, cans, bottles, old alcohol, coins, old paper money. Like, I've collected baseball cards, basketball cards, football cards, and that's just kind of an extension of that. Or, you know, like I said, I've been doing it since I was probably 4 or 5 years old. Is whenever I got started, quote unquote, collecting, and it's always been a part of my life. It's just, I don't know that it's always brought me happiness or anything. It's been a distraction, because I remember whenever I was a kid, which I was really into my card collecting until I was probably about 13. I mean, I would sit in the floor and go through cards that I'd seen a million times. I'd get a brand new Beckett, like a brand new card value book, and that card value book, it wouldn't change much from month to month if it would change at all, but I would sit there and I would meticulously look up each card. I had lists, and I would write out exactly what each card was worth, 17 cents, and just stupid stuff, because I had complete sets, and sometimes I would write down prices of those just because I think it was a good distraction. Honestly, more than anything else, it was a good distraction. Shotgun with a bayonet. I don't think I've ever seen one with a bayonet on it. Maybe I seen one at Cabela's the other day. There was something sitting there with a bayonet, and it might have been a shotgun. I liked going to Cabela's the other day. They had some nice stuff. The Cabela's in Columbus. where up there where I was at is pretty large. But I think one of the largest gabeRILLAs is right here in West Virginia. Like on your way out of the state. Like if I drive to Pittsburgh, actually, I did a live stream from that parking lot once. I think it's up in like Morgantown. Where was I at? I was somewhere up there. It's been probably a little over a year ago. I remember doing a live stream from that parking lot up there. Now I ate Chick-fil-A on my way home, and I was like, "Oh, today's Saturday. I'll do my live stream." It was after that semi truck ran over me in Pittsburgh. It was on my way home, and I'm pretty sure that's one of, if not the largest gabeRILLAs, like period. Not close enough to gabeRILLAs. I like the closest one to me is Charleston, and I've never been there to that one, so I don't know if it's decent. I think they're all nice, but gabeRILLAs, like, I think they do pretty good on their prices on a lot of stuff like that. Well, my grandpa, I know I've probably told you guys this 100 times, but my grandpa was a gun collector, and he had his service rifle, and he had anywhere in between 40 and 50 other similar World War II era style rifles, and he had some other hunting rifles and stuff, but he had probably total between 50 and 60 rifles. And the day we were at his funeral, like literally while we were at his funeral, his house got broken into, and everything got stolen. So I have nothing at all. And of course, now someone steals 50 to 60 weapons, like guns, from a house where someone just passed away. First of all, they should have gotten caught in the act, my opinion. But since they didn't, the cops, like, they knew who to go talk to, and they didn't even do that. This place around here, it hasn't changed much. Let me just put it that way. While I was in surgery, or actually it was the day before I was going into surgery, like, it's been a few years ago, one of my buddies was here, and he goes, "Hey man, I want to go out there and check out your dirt bike," because I had a dirt bike. I had a KX, a Kawasaki. I was like, "Yeah, that's cool, dude. Go ahead," because I couldn't ride it no more. Like, I can't do this with my foot. You have to do this to shift. With your left foot, you got, one down, five up, six gears, clutch, all that. And he goes out there and he's like, "Hey, did you move your bike?" I was like, "No, man, it's right there where it's always been." He's like, "It ain't out here, dude." I was like, "Bull." He's like, "I'm telling you, man." He's like, "I'm not." I thought he was messing with me, because that's something that he would do. He goes, "Dude, I'm not messing with you. It's not out there." I was like, "You got to be kidding me." And I was on a walker at the time. Like, I really couldn't get around. Walked out there, whatever, walkered out there, and it was gone. And it had just gotten stolen. Had to be the night before, maybe the night before that, but probably the night before, because you could see, because I'm sure the rear tire was low because it had sat for probably a year, and you could see where they had pushed it through the field right there out back of my house, pushed it down to the railroad tracks, and loaded it up into a truck down there. Like, because the railroad tracks, it goes over like a hill like this, so they could back their truck up to that hill and throw the bike right up in there, and it gone. So I called the cops, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Instead of, at the time, I couldn't have went looking for it myself. It just wasn't feasible. Usually, if something like that was to happen, I'm going to go look for it myself. I'm going to go talk to people. I'm going to track down leads. I am not going to trust any of these police around here, or probably anywhere for that matter. I think it's the same everywhere, but especially here, to do any type of work like that, because they don't get anything out of it. They don't care. They literally don't. If you get away with it, with stealing something, you're good. As long as you're not seen like right out in the middle of public somewhere and someone recognizes, you know, that's mine, and there's a cop right, they're going to get away with it. It's just how it is. I remember when I was like, I want to say I was probably 9 or 10 years old, probably right along in there, maybe like 11 or 12. I was still a little kid. And I used to always watch Saturday Night Live every Saturday. In the evenings, it used to be Johnny Carson. And whenever Leno took over, I'd watch Jay Leno. And Leno was, he used to do like, you know, like this paper, newspaper clippings and stuff like that. And I think it was the top 3. It doesn't matter. Mason County, West Virginia, which is the county I live in, the Mothman and all that crap. Mason County, West Virginia was the easiest place in the United States to get away with murder. I don't remember exactly what year this was. I don't even know what paper he got that out of. I just remember him reading that and thinking, oh, no way, Jay Leno's talking about where I live. I was like, oh, that's cool. That never left my brain, though. Like, I've always remembered that vividly. Because I live in the place that they say it's the easiest place to get away with murder. Like, how weird is that? I guess it must have something to do with unsolved murder cases. Like, I never really broke it down, obviously, especially not back then. I've thought about it a few times since then in my adult age and thought, like, how did they come up with that statistic? And, like, what was it that made up that statistic? But it's obviously the amount of murders versus like unsolved or never solved, or what, you know, however they phrase it. So it's got to be something like that. Yeah. Tim Riley said no, it's stolen. I'd love to get a lever action Henry 4070 would be nice. I'd be happy with a 30-30, but yeah, 40, 45. It'd suck losing an AK. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. That's definitely a fear that that anyone who owns anything like that has, is it getting stolen. And then, like, what are those people going to... Like, they're obviously bad people. Obviously. Or they wouldn't have done that. Is what are they going to do with them? And, you know, you got to make sure that you log every single serial number, and if something like that happens, you get it into the system that you do not own them guns anymore. They were stolen. If they get returned, you make sure you get it into that system that you have them back, or they'll be looking for them, and it's just crazy stuff. I still got tons of parts for my motorcycle out there. I had like 3 sets of back wheels and tires. I had spare sprockets. I had a whole nother set of plastic, and brand new plastic too. Kawasaki green, brand new. Never been on the bike. What else is out there? I got another front wheel with rotor on it. I've got and bearings. You know, everything can just be swapped right over. I got a brand new chain still in the box out there. I've got, what else do I have out there? Clutch cable. Brand new clutch cable. I don't know. At the time, when I put everything, I probably $1,000 worth of parts or so. Yeah, 3030s are classic. My stepdad had a, I think it was a Sears and Roebuck, maybe. I'm not 100% sure that's what it was. It seems like that might have been what it was. But he had one of those old shotgun. I think it was an old shotgun. And I'm pretty sure we know who stole these guns. But anyway, his guns got stolen back in like 2005-ish, 2006, something like that. And That gun back then was worth like $6,000 back then, which was, it wasn't pre-internet, but it was pretty close. Like nobody really, it wasn't like it is now. So I don't know what it would have been worth now. Probably a lot more. I don't know how rare those guns were, but at the time when you couldn't access things on the internet, like it was like almost $6,000. And just for the one, and I'm pretty sure all of them got stolen. Maybe all of them but one. Like somebody must have walked in on them or something. But I felt bad after all of his guns got stolen. So I went to the local pawn shop down there, and I was like, what do you got that I could use for? I wanted him to have something for home defense because their house just got broken into. And as I was standing there talking to the guy, this kid walked in, and there were like the whole wall was stuffed, plumb full of shotguns and stuff like that. And that kid walked in. He goes, "Hey, how much would you give me for this?" And he set it up on the table. And I could see it was a 12 gauge. The guy goes, I got all these. He's like, I don't really need it. He's like, what do you, if it's cheap enough, what do you want for it? I think the kid said $150. He's like, nah, that's too much. He's like, I don't need it. He's like, I'm good. So I was like, I'll walk out here. I followed the kid outside. I was like, hey, before you take off with that, I was like, how bad do you want to sell it? He's like, man, we need the money. I was like, well, what will you take for it? I think I got it for $120. But it was an old police issued Winchester 12 gauge, older, not old, but older, real nice cherry, not a scratch on it. Beautiful gun. He's still got it. My stepdad still got it. It's short barrel, perfect for home defense. Like that was what I got it for him for. That's exactly what it's designed for, more or less. So yeah, that was the only thing he had as far as like a home defense anything for years. Oh, I thought it was a screaming deal because this has been a long time ago, but what he had in there for like $100 was like pretty janky, and that's kind of really all I was wanting to spend because it's my stepdad, and I was like, I want to try to do something nice for him, but I really don't have that much money, and I don't want to be that nice, but so, but yeah, I was like, man, that thing looked really nice when he had it up there on the counter. I'm glad that it worked out, and I ended up getting it. But yeah, he's had that thing now for, wow, what, almost 20 years? It was probably like 2005-ish, something like that. Maybe 6, maybe 4. I don't know. It might have been 2004. I can still remember giving it to him, though. I thought that was a fun gift to give because he never expected anything like that. So I enjoyed doing something like that. But it sucked because I felt bad because their house just got broken into and all. Like those, I think that gun belonged to his grandpa, and then his dad had it all his life, and then he had it for a long time, and then one person, no consideration for others, comes in and yanks it, and it's gone. I think he checked the pawn shops around here for like 2 or 3 years, hoping that it would pop up, and it never did. The guy probably sold it for, a few $100, $500, whatever. And whoever bought it realized that it was a $6,000 gun, $5,500, $6,000, whatever it was. And that's why it never ended up at a pawn shop or something, because whoever bought it realized they got an insane deal. I'm sure that's probably similar to what happened. Yeah, it could have got sold in another state, but he had the serial numbers on it. So I doubt. Did it have a serial number? I don't know, man. It was an antique gun, so I'm not sure exactly how that thing was marked, but I thought he had some sort of identifier on it. and they looked for it to pop up in the system. Yeah, spicy tuna rolls. I've heard of people doing that. I've never looked it up or looked at one or anything like that, but I've definitely heard about that. Wouldn't you still need like a metal spring and obviously you'd want a metal barrel? Yeah, it's not hard to remove the numbers, right? True. Yep, Dremel tool, something along those lines. I'm sure. Bench grinder. Vestry, yes, bolt. And a metal firing pin, yeah. Yep, you got to have something to strike that. Either rim or center fire. Oop, nope, I don't want that. Yeah, Kalen, it definitely could have. I mean, it could have. It's hard to tell where it ended up. I mean, I hated that for him, though, because I know, like, my stepdad doesn't value things very often, like items, not like I do, because, like I said, I've been a collector since I was a kid. Um, and this is off topic, but my grandma lived through the Great Depression, and she would always keep things and try to find other uses for things that she had sitting around, whatever, right? Repurpose. I'm sure that rubbed off on me, like to the point to where it's annoying, and I've got to break some of those habits that I have because which Rations has definitely given me an outlet for that obsessive compulsive disorder that I have, because I used to kind of be obsessive compulsive. I still am, but where I have outlets that were a lot more productive than how I used to, I think it keeps me from doing some of that stuff that I like. I couldn't. You know how like some rugs have like frills on the end, like little tassels. So if those weren't all perfectly straight, I would have to straighten them. Like it would drive me nuts until I got up and straightened them. Or if something was out of a line, like there's clearly a way that things should be lined up in my mind. You know, if something that wasn't lined up, I'd have to get up and I'd have to line it up, have to fix it. Now, I know some of that has helped my age, but I would have to fix that. Like you know, simple stuff. It wasn't anything ever. I guess I wouldn't look at it as being major. Maybe, I don't know. Just depends on who you ask, I guess. But it's definitely something that I used to do years ago. It's been years since I've done anything like that. But so I obviously have had some sort of OCD at one point. And my grandma, like I said, like, and that's like keeping food around, like non-perishables. I've always kept non-perishables around. I've got cans, which I kind of collected sodas and stuff like that, and like not hardcore, but if I thought the can looked cool, I would buy it brand new and I'd put it up and be like, yeah, that'll be cool 10 years from now. And now here it is, probably I've got some that are 12, 15 years old that I bought 12, 15 years ago that they ain't that cool now, but still I got a 12 or 15-year-old drink that I could drink sometime and I could say, I bought this fresh out of the store. You know what I mean? Oh, come here. Come here. Come here. I'm sure everybody want to see you. Oh, there's purring. There's purring. Oh, there's a pretty little girl. Hmm? Oh, hi, honey. Yay, the cat. Yeah, she's cool. The little gray one, like, he's cool, but he doesn't like me like this one does. This one likes me, as you can tell. Yeah. You like me, don't you? Is that what you want? No. She's got a skin condition, though. Just like her mom. Her mom has it. She's got, like, these little bumps on her neck. And she has gotten... It's not that... It's went away. She had a sore on her cheek, like, right there. But she's not doing too awful bad. Yeah, I've always been a Pepsi person. I like Coke's advertising. I like the Coke labels. I think that they're cool looking, and I like the fact that Coke has went absolutely nuts with their products and their collectibles, and they target Coke collectors hardcore. They know what they got. They know that they've got a label that just is irresistible to a lot of people. And if you can think of it, most likely Coke has made it at some point. Like they have made so many different products, even trays. Like there's a food tray, it's a TV tray, like a old TV dinner food tray. But they've made so much stuff, like die-cast cars, heck pencils. Like literally, if you can name it, I'll bet they've probably made it. Underwear, all different types of clothing, like everything. Hope that package waiting for you is Bob. Yes, yeah, I do too. I will find out Monday. I don't think I've got anything going on Monday, and you'll be the first to know. Thank you for the super chat, Bob. Well, Bourbon Street Joe, Mike. I don't know why, because you said Bob, I thought Bob. Anyway. Your mom collects Coke stuff. I've got a few Coke things, like other than the bottles that I've had, and uh, I don't know what all Coke stuff I do have. There was some really cool Coke stuff that they had whenever I was in New York. There's a souvenir shop that's right there next to the hotel that I had, which I stayed in the Edison. I lived in the Edison for a long time. But there was a souvenir shop there, and you went downstairs into a basement, and they had some really cool Coca-Cola stuff down there that I really liked. Thank you. Thank you. She's just like a little tiny baby. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes. Yes. Yeah, she's pretty cool. So I was actually talking to someone recently. This might interest you, LC. But they were telling me that they ship a lot of cats. They transport and ship and relocate a lot of cats out of the country to Canada. And they said Canada, and where else did they say? There was somewhere else that they said that a lot of cats that end up, but and they adopt them out. But I was thinking maybe I could get in touch with them and see if they could help me transport this youngin' to Canada if you wanted it. Yeah, it'd break my heart to get rid of you, but it's not like I don't have enough. I got plenty without you. Even though, can't help but like you. What are you doing? Ugh. Ugh. Trying to bite the inside of my nose. Boop. Booger eater. I ain't got no boogers for you to eat. You turd. You turd. Turd bird. Turd burglar. Yeah, the focus. There you go. This Coke ad was from the 80s. Here, right there. What is it now? Coke ad was from the 80s. It's a pic of a baseball stadium with full seats and a game going on, and the Coke logo in several areas. What are we talking about now? Yeah, she's like, I got your nose. Yeah, no doubt. She's gonna have it in between her teeth. Well, I had birds for years. Who said that? Wyoming? Yeah. I like almost all animals. There's not very many that I don't like, and I even have respect for ones that I don't. I don't like snakes at all, but if I could save one, get it out of the road or something like that, I would do it. And come here. So, like, even if I can catch a fly out of the house, I'll take it outside. I don't like to kill anything anymore. I used to hunt. I used to, skin a deer, gut a deer, cut it up. I just don't. If I had to, all day long, like if that was the difference between me feeding my family and me not, I'll kill a deer, I'll skin it, I'll do the whole nine, right? And I'll use it all. I'll even use the antlers for dog treats, and the bones, everything. Maybe use some as tools, but yeah, if we were in a situation like that. But as far as like, right, like I don't have to do that. I don't need to do that. I stood outside at like probably 3 this morning, 3 a.m., which is about the time I got done with my car, detailing it completely out so it could go to the car show today. And then I took a shower, and after I got done doing everything else, I went outside. And the bucks, we've got about 15 deer. There's two herds. One's got like 6 and the other one's got like 9. And there's 2, I think one might be a 4-point and the others, they're young. They're young bucks. And I stood out there and watched them, and they were both eating, but they were real close to each other. And I was like, that's kind of weird, because usually you don't see them, those 2 bucks really hanging out near each other. And they kept getting closer to each other, putting their head down like that. And they started rubbing their antlers together. I was like, are they really fixing to fight? I was like, no way. And they started like, but they're still in velvet. So I'm pretty sure when they're in velvet, like their antlers are still soft. Well, anyway, they were rubbing each other's antlers on each, they were head to head and rubbing each other. And then they both kind of leaned back a little bit and headbutted, just not real hard, but I could hear it. They did it one time, and then they kind of locked up a little bit with their heads down, still eating grass with it kind of locked up. And then one turned around and walked over here, and they weren't aggressive yet. They must not be in full rut yet. But it looks like I'm going to have some really interesting stuff to watch out back if I'm fortunate enough to be outside at that time. Two nights before that, I was out back, and there's always possums out there. There's 2 skunks that frequent my back porch and eat cat food. There's 3 different possums, very distinct looking, 3 different possums. And then there's 3 or 4 raccoons. I'm not sure if the mommy still comes around, but she used to. And I know I see the 3. They're always together. They're siblings. They have grown up together. This is their second or third year coming here. And before them, it was the mommy. And she'd always come. But I had her, like, trained. I would crack my back door, and I'd go, and she'd come right over to the door. And I'd say, "Are you hungry?" And I always keep, like, old lunch cakes and crap, like, stuff I don't want. Which is a lot of stuff, usually. I'm not a pile, but I keep stuff like that, and I give it to the raccoons or the possums. And she'd come right to the back door, and I'd hand it to her, and she'd reach up and grab it with her little paws. I enjoy the raccoons. I like watching them eat. Their little 5, opposable thumb-looking hands. I think it's cool. Why are you obsessed with my nose? Making my eye twitch. Alright. Man, I got some really good looking donuts today. I haven't eaten any of them yet, but maybe I can show them to you. Have you guys dreaming about donuts, because these things are they look really, really good. Looks can be deceiving, but oh yeah, look at that. This is the ones I'm talking about right here, and these two. Look at that. Tell me those don't look good. Oh yeah, I did eat a little bit of that caramel. Yeah. Yeah, but they're looking pretty good. I don't like how the glaze ran off of that one, but yeah. Yeah, these two are maple. That one's a chocolate cream. It's the cream inside is chocolate, and then it's chocolate covered, obviously. These are like cream filled down the middle with nuts on them, and then cream filled with coconut. Yeah. They look good. I bought a bunch of them, dropped some of them off down the road. But yeah, there's something for you to think about. That'd be torture for me to see something like that. I'd be like, okay, now I'm craving whatever that was, whatever I happen to see. No. You cannot sit on top of the box. You can't sit on top of that box. You'll crush the donuts. Yeah, those things are absolutely horrible for me, and I should not eat them, but you tell me. Like, I think it's worth eating. Oh, I could try one of the... Look, you can't get on this box, cat. Alright, let me do this. Let me get rid of this tray real quick before I sign off, because I could take a bite of one of those nut ones right now. Let me get rid of this tray real quick. Okay. Look, here he is. He's got a look to him, doesn't he? Somebody. Hey. Stop doing that. She made a little after I told her to stop. Hey, buddy. Say hello. Get down. All right. Whoop. I've actually never had one of these ones with the... I've had one of these. It's been a couple weeks ago. I bought a couple dozen and took to my family reunion down there. But I only got one, and it was one of those. So I'm going to go for the one that doesn't have the most cream in it. Yeah. Try to rip it open. Yeah, look at that. Some nuts falling off of it, but my mouth is watering like crazy. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, here we go. The cream is like really nice and airy. I wouldn't say it's quite whipped, but it's got a really nice velvety texture to it. The nuts are a really nice contrast. I wouldn't say I get a bunch of flavor from them, but the chew that they add is really nice. Those are really good. Yeah, these things are addicting and most certainly bad for me. Which I definitely want to have another one of these this week. Because that one that I had, like, I think that coconut, if I remember right, was kind of like maybe coated with sugar or something to make it a little bit crunchy and like sweeter. But the donut itself is not, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, sometimes you can get a donut and it's like too yeasty. That's not what's going on here. The donut tastes exactly like what you would want a donut to taste like. Very similar to what a Krispy Kreme tastes like. Yeah, I would, if I could, if I didn't know what was best for me, I could eat all these for sure. Not at one time, but obviously within a day or two, down all those. What is there? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 donuts in there. Somebody must have ate a couple out of here. I don't even know what else was in here. But yeah, I thought they looked really good. So it's not very often I got something like this. Very, very rare. The first time I'd pick something like this up in a long, long time was for that family reunion. And then I was coming through there from the car show earlier today. I wish I could show you guys pictures, but they're all on here, on this device. But I don't know if this place is anywhere else or if it's just here. 0 grams of trans fat. Huh. Trans fat free. TTF. That's funny. I had no clue. I seen that in the comments. I was like, no, not these things. I never did. Surely not. Maybe. They're good, though. Well, that coffee goes good with it, too. It's cold. It's, you know, room temperature, whatever. Tastes cold. Refreshing. All right. Well, it's been a good week, guys. It's good to hang out with you guys, as always. I think next week, I think zoomed. Yeah. Next week, I think I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to have to recover afterwards. I'm just going to do it live. Because usually, when you see something, when you see someone do something like this, and they're a wuss, like I am when it comes to something like this, it'll be a video. They'll eat it, they'll chug some milk, you know, freak out, do whatever. And then the video will cut off. Done deal. And they got another half hour to recover, of recovery time. I'll tell you what, when we went to Vic's, for eating history, and we did the well, not we. I did the 6 million Scoville hot sauce. Whew. It took me probably, I'm going to say, 45 minutes to recover from that. I got a huge endorphin rush. Like Josh barely tried. He was rolling around on the ground. Like it was a whole ordeal. And I knew how bad it was going to be. I knew exactly what to expect. And we had these little spoons that were, the spoons were about that long. And the actual spoon part on it, I don't know what they were for. But it was like maybe that wide. And maybe the spoon part was about that long. And I stuck it in that hot sauce. And that's what I ate, was like that little spoonful. Oh my God. It was brutal. Absolutely brutal. And I see like Johnny, like he'll do like that tincture that is 16 million. I think it's 16 million Scoville. It's pure, nothing but extract. Like it's the hottest stuff that you can get. I don't even think pepper spray is hotter, if I'm not mistaken. It might be, but I don't think it is. Anyway, yeah, it depends with me, Wyoming Adventures. Sometimes, like, I'm in the mood to do it, and I'm okay with the punishment that ensues after I try it. Sometimes, like, I really want to try it and find out what the flavor of something that's really hot is. I would like to make my own really hot sauce that has a good flavor. Obviously, you're not going to get to enjoy that except for maybe a second in the beginning, and then usually by the time it's wore off, like, the flavor is long gone. When you are postpartum, they suggest soaking period pads with water and putting them in the freezer to hold down for the Death Nut Challenge. I gotta just assume that you're joking. Because I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. I'm supposed to eat peanuts, not put some. Yeah. I just have to assume. I'm not a sadist, but I have to watch next. Well, next week or sometime this week, tell Johnny, because I'm sure he's been long gone for a long time. Tell him next week's the week. I will get myself prepared, which I need to buy some Pepto. I like to coat my stomach. I don't like to do it and I definitely want to have something in my stomach to absorb the heat that's about to hit it. But yeah, I think this should be possible. I don't see why not. Butch tea peppers. Starts off with ghost pepper, which I'm sure you guys know. Ghost used to be the hottest pepper in the world for heck until up like 4 years ago. And I know the guy that does the Pucker Butt, which is the one that's doing these Pucker Butt Pepper Company. He has peppers that are exponentially hotter than the ones that are out right now. He has them, but you can't. The Guinness Book of World Records only do them every 2 years or something crazy like that. So and it has to be, I don't know. You just have to go watch some of Johnny's stuff. He handles the stuff so gracefully and so smoothly and so easily that it makes me, like, I don't know. It's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's discouraging to watch someone handle something that would literally rip you apart. Like, if you tried to do some of the stuff I've seen him do, you would wish you were dead. Plain and simple. You wish that you were not alive anymore. Like, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, you would be rolling around on the ground, begging someone to knock you out. Like, you'd be in so much pain that you'd want things to stop. Especially that extract, that tincture that I think it's his most viewed video. He said it's like, it hasn't quite hit 1 million yet, but it's almost hit 1 million. And he puts that clear extract. He cuts open 2 like brain strain, I think they were, or they were 7-pot. Is it in here? Yeah, the brain strain. Yeah, 7-pot brain strain. He cut 1 or 2 of those in half and then just filled it up. Filled it up. I think he used that whole bottle. And that whole bottle, that bottle of tincture that he had, was like I said, it's like pure extract, 16 million or something like that. That bottle, for you and me, if you were to spice up your chili, 1 drop. 2 if you're like, you really like it spicy. 2 drops out of an eyedropper. Bloop, bloop. That would last us probably, I don't know, if we ate a lot of stuff like that, 3 or 4 years probably. Like a long time. Like a long time. It'd probably last me 3 or 4 years. Because, no, you know, no more often than we have chili or whatever. That's it, yeah. And he ate it all in one go. Like, it's crazy, the stuff I've seen him do. There's a lady over in the UK is the only other person that I've seen kind of rival him in the ability to handle extremely hot, spicy stuff. But I can't remember who she is. It's been a long time since I've seen her. I know he knows who she is. Thank you for climbing up here. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if she knows how lucky she is. 2016, the guy had a 2.5 centimeter hole created in him for eating ghost peppers puree in his burger. Really? In his stomach? I didn't think I didn't think that was a real thing. I've never heard of it actually burning through someone's stomach or anything. I thought that was just a myth. It was all on the news. Okay. Here's a question. What if this guy had a stomach ulcer from something else, right? Which is what we're talking about. A hole in his stomach is a stomach ulcer. What if he had something, and him eating that spicy stuff, obviously anything you eat can leak out and cause you extreme pain because it's getting into your system in places it's not supposed to get. So I kind of wonder if maybe he didn't already have something going on, and that is what caused the hole, because I'm not 100% sure that's a real thing. I'd have to look into that. And I know that Johnny, like, he's done a lot of the research on that. Like, I'm sure he knows. But it seems like I've heard him say that there's not any harm in eating hot stuff, like even extremely hot stuff. Obviously, you'd be in a lot of pain, but as far as like burning a hole in your guts or anything, like, that's not something that can happen, because it's not actually acidic or anything like that. It's just hot. Oh, it was his esophagus? Whoa. I'm going to have to, when we wrap this up, I'm going to look into that. Because I've never heard of anything like that happen. I didn't know that was possible. Which I know it's something that everybody should be careful with. And you get down on this list, like, it starts with ghost and then goes to scorpion, butch tea peppers. Which must have been who grew the scorpions. And then it's Carolina Reapers, chocolate bootla, and Carolina Reaper powder, which is on the 3rd nut down. And then the 4th one is Carolina Reapers, 7-pot Dilgla. You got to quit, cat. And then 7-pot Brain Strain and Carolina Reaper Powder. The fifth one is that new Pepper X, which I'm sure is actually out now. I'm sure you can probably get that. I don't know. I don't know if Pepper X is a pepper that you can actually buy now. I know back when this came out, it was not a pepper available for purchase. So it was that, Carolina Reaper, Moruga Scorpion, and Carolina Reaper Powder. So that one sounds ridiculous. And I think that that Pepper X was like 700,000 hotter than the Carolina Reaper. Or the Ghost, sorry. All right. Well, I want to say a huge thanks to everybody who's hung out tonight. And if anybody sees this later, thank you for watching that. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up or down. I don't care. It doesn't bother me either way. I just appreciate your feedback. It's not me. Like, I don't get validation from stuff like that. Google wants it. Google wants that up and down. And what that does is helps me out in different ways, not a validation way. Does that make sense? Oh. Anyways, but yeah, man, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on Saturday. I know I babble on and try not to. I wanted to interact more tonight, more than anything else. Like, that to me seemed the direction I wanted to go with tonight, more than anything else. I think I accomplished some of that, and it was really cool to actually get to eat some of that pork with rice and barbecue sauce, because that's the first time I've ever eaten one, and it tasted right. Tasted really good. Like I said, it had that light creaminess to it. Sweet. The barbecue sauce was definitely sweet. The pork was tender, although very dark. But tasted pretty good, though, until I added the crackers, and then it got weird. Things got weird. Like, I still don't understand exactly what happened there, because the crackers on their own were fine. The pork with barbecue sauce, pork with rice and barbecue sauce was fine on its own, but when you put the two together, I started getting the numbness and the rancid burning and the weird reactions. Made no sense to me. Never had that happen, but first time for everything, I guess, and tonight was that night. So definitely something I'll look out for in the future, to see if mixing things like that cause a reaction. I don't know what would have caused that to happen, but it certainly did happen. I mean, happened more than once, because I checked. Yeah, like, there was something I'd like to try to do something out and about, like I was saying earlier, like something I can do with you guys that's not just this type of thing. Like, could have took you to that car show today and walked around and looked at cars, or whatever, something like that. Or I think it'd be cool to go to like an estate sale and see what they got. I think that'd be fun. God, I'd love to find some old rations at an estate sale around here. Maybe it's possible. I've just not ever seen it. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. But yeah, thank you guys. Everybody who sent a super chat in tonight. LC for sure. Let me see if I can. I'm going to click on super chat, and it shows me nothing. Of course. Live chat. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys for everything. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I appreciate your conversation. And everything you guys have done for me in one way or another. Probably a lot of you done more for me than what you'd ever believe. Does that make sense? Final one of the night. Thanks for the show. Can't hardly wait for next week. Oh boy, I'm getting held to the fire on this one, I think. But thank you for the super chat, LC. I liked hearing from you. I like hearing the stuff about the kids too. Like, if they can get excited about something like this, history related that's real history. It doesn't have to be like extremely educational. I think that's sometimes where we go overboard. I think education is important, but I also think that we teach people the wrong things. Not that this is one of the things that I think there are aspects of this that people should learn. Not necessarily so much of the history as what the well, I guess what we found out from this hobby that we've had. All the different vintage foods that I've tried, and like what can last, what can't, what happens to certain foods. I'd like to really get a little more scientific about that and educate people that just because there's a date printed on something, that doesn't mean that it automatically goes bad because that date has came or passed. You understand? I think that's something everybody should know. And I want the more people I can reach with that message, the happier I am. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones that those dates don't necessarily mean that it's no good after that. You know, use their own discretion, obviously. But I think that's something that if we're really facing this climate disaster, so they called it today, and we are wasting hundreds of billions of dollars worth of food a year. We have been up until now. I know every single store that I frequent throws away millions per year. If you add everything up, millions a year. Walmart, Dollar General, any large chain retail store, they don't give stuff away. It all goes in the dumpster. It doesn't get recycled. It doesn't get anything. It goes straight to the dump or into the ocean, whatever. Like it's absolutely a plague. It's something that needs to be remedied, in my opinion. There are so many things that we could do with these foods. And most of them, like, look, bags of chips, just because they came to their date, if those bags of chips are not open, little ones, big ones, doesn't matter. If they're not open and they're not ruptured, the seal on them was not ruptured, that bag of chips, I can promise you, will be good years from now. Promise. I promise, I promise. I've eaten, I know. So, why throw them away because the best by date was July 22nd and today's July 23rd? Why do that? Anybody know? Because it doesn't make, oh, we're going to get sued. That's what it is. Everybody's afraid of a frivolous lawsuit. I don't know, man. It's something that needs to be remedied because they want us to eat crickets. You guys want to eat crickets? I don't want to eat crickets. I've eaten crickets. I don't like them. They're not awful, but it sure as heck ain't going to be what I want for my main protein source. You know what I mean? Yes, moneymaker. That Wyoming, you are correct. It is a cycle. It's just like your medicine going bad on a certain date. It's just like iPhones having those baked in updates that they force you to take. That is forced obsolescence is what it's called. It's similar to all these things that you can go down the list. Cars, especially nowadays, with they can force updates into your ECU, your computer, cause things to start going wrong. There's all kinds of things now that are not fixable. They're disposable, and that we can't live in a disposable world. Like, that's not sustainable for any life form, you know, especially when you waste the way we have been. So it saddens me whenever I see literal 55-gallon trash bags that are about this tall whenever they're completely pulled up, roughly, and they're bulging, and it's nothing but food that is, it's fresh food. It's fresh, you know, A lot of it's non-perishable though. Like it could be cereals, it could be breakfast like protein type bars or cereal bars. It could be cans of Pringles. It could be, it could be all kinds of stuff like that. And it drives me crazy to see their dumpsters full of stuff like this. It happens way more often than even I like to admit. Like I said, it's hundreds of billions a year that we throw away in America. And it's something we've got to stop. We've got to stop this. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. If they really want to come up with a date, they need to do a whole lot more testing. I mean, that's all there is to that. Instead of, there's no regulation to that, by the way. There's no regulation whatsoever. Each company, it's up to their own discretion how they test that product, how its best by date's going to be came up with. There's no guidelines. Each company has to do 100 degrees for 6 weeks, nothing like that, or in a machine that forces 6 weeks worth of weathering. They have things that they say do that, but that can't be the same thing as that product sitting there for 6 weeks in 100-degree heat. You can't make a machine replicate what that would be. I don't think that, it's just not the same thing. So, but I think they should all have to invest in formal type testing and see how long their products actually last at high temperatures, regular temperatures, and put both those dates on there. At standard storage in a home, say just call it 70 degrees in a pantry or a cool dark place. Product will last probably 5 to 10 times longer than they say it will. And then if it's in heated areas and things like that, it'll probably still last double to triple the amount of time they say it does now. And then it won't lose nutritional value. It might start, the taste might like drop off. It might not be as intense flavor wise as it was. Most likely won't lose much, if any, nutritional value and things like that. But I think there should be some standardization happen across the board. All food manufacturers that make products that are any type of, not like hamburger, right? Because that's not long-term storage or anything like that. But something that you're going to pull out of the pantry and look at a date on it and decide whether or not that's edible, and stuff that they're going to pull off the shelves the day before, the day of, what that best by or purchase by date is, and put it in a dumpster. You know what I mean? I think there should be some regulation. I don't know. It sickens me when I think about it too much. Waiting for the day I can rehydrate an entire pizza. Like a Back to the Future too. Yeah. Well, there's already chicken and mashed potatoes. Full chicken breast with mashed potatoes. I think that's pretty good. Better than a pizza in my opinion. But yeah, I don't foresee being able to rehydrate a pizza anytime soon. You would have to have some sort of pressure that infuses humidity into, I guess, this is the only way I can think that maybe something like that would work. And that pressure, along with maybe like a microwave effect to where it gets to the center. I don't know. I don't know how you'd pull something like that off, really. I am not that smart. There's no way I could come up with a solution to that problem. You still have, I seen there was someone on eBay that was doing like individual freeze-dried everything, chicken tenders, steaks, pizza slices, like you name it. They were freeze-drying everything, like clumps of ice cream. I would like to try some freeze-dried pizza. I would obviously have to eat it dry, not with, you can't rehydrate a piece of pizza, obviously. LC, the Dollar Tree, the Dollar Tree, carries some amazing freeze-dried strawberries. They're whole strawberries, not cut or anything like that, and they're really ripe whenever they freeze dry them. They're nice and sweet and red all the way through to the middle. They're actually really good. It's been a while because I got on a freeze-dried kick where I could get, they had freeze-dried bananas, freeze-dried strawberries, freeze-dried peaches, and freeze-dried apples. And that's what I ate as my snack for like 2 years. And I just kind of got burned out on it and stopped buying it and eating it for a while. It's been a while. It's probably been like a year since I stopped that kick. But yeah, they used to have all that. And if not, Dollar General carries a brand it's cheap too. I think they might want $2 a bag for theirs at Dollar General, or $1.50. Well, I don't know, something like that. But they're not as good as the Dollar Tree ones. They're not bad, but they're just not as good as the Dollar Tree ones. The Dollar Tree brand is better by, I'd say it's twice as good. You can rehydrate a bread product by steaming. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, like humidity along with some pressure. Just a little bit of water. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like if you got a piece of... what do I do that with? Well, I'll do it with pizza. Pizza's like a couple days old, been setting out. I'll throw a wet paper towel over it in the microwave, and it'll infuse that heat to it. So you might be able to somewhat rehydrate. I just don't think it'll make it to the middle. It might help it a little bit on the outside, but you could try, like maybe setting a piece of pizza on a wet paper towel, but I think it would probably get too soggy. I don't know. Depends on how wet you get. I don't know. You'd have to experiment and find out if that would work. But yeah, absolutely. I do that stuff pretty regular. What was the last thing I did that with? I did, it ain't been that long ago, just the other day. Can't remember what it was. Amazon had it too. Are we talking about the pizza still? Can you freeze dry potato chips? I mean, you can freeze dry just about anything, as far as I know you can. But I don't know that it would... Well, I guess it would maybe take any of the moisture out. Oil. I don't know. I don't know what that would be like. I'm trying to imagine it as I'm standing here thinking about it. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I imagine you could. If you've got a good freeze dryer, it's going to pull the oils and any of the moisture out of those, whatever type of chip you decide to do, a tortilla or a potato chip or whatever. But I don't know how that would turn out, because you could do it to ice cream. So if you can do it to ice cream, you can do it to pretty much anything, because ice cream's like moist and wet. And yeah, I don't know what it would do to a chip, honestly. I have seen beef lung that was freeze dried. I got it for my dog, and I think, yeah, beef liver, or was it beef lung? I can't remember, but it turned into like it like blew up, and it had a bunch of air bubbles in it and stuff. Really, obviously, it was really lightweight, but it got a whole lot bigger because of the freeze drying process. Made it, when the moisture came out of it, it made it expand. Pretty neat. I wouldn't mind seeing like some freeze dried pound cakes and stuff like that. What all did Steve do whenever he did that Thanksgiving dinner? I think he did cranberry sauce, turkey, mashed potatoes, vegetables. I don't know what he did for desserts, though. I don't know. I don't know if he did anything. Maybe ice cream or something. I don't know. But all right, guys. Again, thanks everybody for your super chats. I really appreciate you guys for hanging out. Super chats. Anybody who ever on Patreon, getting addresses over there. I'm starting to move stuff around. I'm moving stuff around, and yeah, got a lot planned for the future. So, all right, guys. I guess now all I got left to do is say thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next live stream. Later.